Series decider from Northern Kentucky after the Otters pounded the Y'alls for 11 runs yesterday and completed their biggest comeback on the road of the season. The Otters battle the Y'alls with the series on the line on an overcast Thursday night from Northern Kentucky. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Florence, Kentucky, just outside of Cincinnati for Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network. I'm Griffin Epstein, joining you on a warm but overcast and drizzly evening outside of the Queen City. The Otters a wild win last night, 11-10 victory last night for the Otters. It was back and forth early, but Florence appeared to pull away with 5 runs in the 4th inning on a bullpen day for the Otters, but Evansville responded. 2 runs in the 5th inning before 3 in the 6th to give the Otters a lead. They never relinquished the rest of the way. Held on, got a little scary in the 9th inning for the Otters, but Jake Polancic worked his 13th save, and the Otters held on for an 11-10 win last night after bouncing back from a 6-4 loss on Tuesday where their comeback effort fell just short. So hot Otters bats, the pitching staff struggling to start the week. Florence back-to-back days with 13 hits. The Otters sending the ready Justin Watland out on the bump tonight to try to stabilize the Otters pitching staff. And Evansville trying to win their first road series in over a month. Last road series win was July 2nd at Joliet. They've dropped 5 straight road series with a chance to end that tonight. Get a big series victory before going into the weekend series to conclude this 6-game road trip at the Washington Wild Things. The Otters sit 5 games back of first place in the West, 3 games back of second place Schaumburg, and currently 6.5, make it 5.5 up on Washington, who's chasing them for that 3rd and final playoff spot. So every game important, which is 16 games left to play in the Frontier League season after today. It's time to meet the Evansville Otters starting lineup, 43-46 on the season under the direction of 14th-year manager Andy McCauley. Noah Myers is the Edward Jones leadoff batter playing left field. Gary Mattis will bat second and DH. Kona Quiggle bats third and plays center field. Jeffrey Baez in the cleanup spot and playing right. Dakota Phillips bats fifth and plays first base. Yomar Reyes batting sixth and playing third. Austin Bose bats seventh and plays second base. Justin Felix catching and batting eighth. And George Khalil, the shortstop, hitting ninth. Justin Watland, the ready on the mound for the Otters. On the other side, the Florence Y'Alls, 34-46. Tristan Garcia, the DH, leads off. Hank Zeisler bats second and plays right field. Brian Fuentes batting third and playing third base. Zade Richardson in the cleanup spot and catching. Ray Zuber bats fifth and plays center field. Harrison DeNicola batting sixth and playing first base. Bottom 3 in the Y'alls lineup, Jeremiah Burks, the second baseman, Ed Johnson, the shortstop, and Lane Hoover, the left fielder, rounding out the lineup for Florence. Veteran Y'all Bobby Braybrand on the mound tonight for Florence, 3-9 with a 6.35 ERA. First pitch on the other side will break for the national anthem. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Almost set for Otters baseball on a drizzly overcast night from Florence, Kentucky. Your weather conditions this evening, we had a heavy shower about an hour ago right as gates open, but it's been dry over the last 45 minutes or so. A chance of light drizzle throughout the rest of the evening. Currently 76 degrees, but quite humid out, 66% humidity, making it feel quite warmer. Wind is blowing out. After 5 home runs last night, we certainly can see a lot more tonight. 9-mile-per-hour winds blowing straight out to right field. It is a hitter's paradise this evening here in Florence, and certainly could be a slippery ball and wet turf for the second night in this series. Rained relatively hard for a couple innings of baseball on Tuesday, but we played through it and ended up having a certainly game very much affected by rain. On the mound today for Florence, warming up the righty Bobby Braybrand. He makes his 16th start of the season. 89 innings pitched here for Florence to lead the team this season. Just 3-9 with a 6.53 ERA. 79 strikeouts to 39 walks. He's allowed 10 home runs as well. Guy with just 4 quality outings on the season in his second year in Florence has not found a lot of consistent success this year. The Otters hit him well all the way back in late June here in Florence. Evansville, 10 hits, 7 runs off Braybrand in 6 innings pitched. Around Braybrand on the diamonds, Abe Richardson catching back behind the plate after playing first last night. Harrison DeNicolas at first. Jeremiah Burks makes his series debut at second. Ed Johnson at shortstop and Brian Fuentes at third base. In the outfield for Florence, Lane Hoover in left field, Ray Zuber in center, and Hank Zeisler in right field. Noah Myers will lead things off for the Otters, walking into the left-handed batter's box, and we're all set for baseball this evening from Florence. Series on the line here between the Y'alls and the Otters. Braybrand, high set on the far left side of the rubber, kicks and delivers home. First pitch misses outside for a ball, and we're underway. Otters same uniforms as yesterday after the come-from-behind victory. All gray unis with Evansville written in blue across the chest and blue numerals on the back. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. All gray pants for Myers with no piping. Blue and white shoes for Myers with blue and white stockings. Black hat tops off the uniform for the Otters as the 2-0 sails high. 3 balls and no strikes. Y'alls with white uniforms today. Y'alls written in red across the chest. Red numerals on the back and small on the front. All white pants with no piping. Red belt with a red hat. The 3-0. Breaking ball inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk by Braybrand to Myers to start off the first inning. Noah Myers had a big day yesterday for the Otters. He reached base 5 different times, had 2 hits and 2 walks. I guess that's 4 different times, if you do the math right. But a big day either way how you draw it up for Myers. And he's aboard at first to lead off this game. Gary Mattis swings the first pitch, drives it right to third base, caught by Fuentes. He throws back to first, and Myers dives back in safely to avoid being doubled up. First pitch swung on by Mattis, hard hit off the bat at 90 miles per hour, but right into the glove of the third baseman Fuentes. So 1 away in the first. Myers still at first, and it brings up the lefty center fielder Kona Quiggle. Lights are on under dark, heavy gray clouds overhead for a third straight night here at Thomas More Stadium. No late evening sunshine this week here in Northern Kentucky. First pitch to Quiggle, sails low for a ball. Dark brown glove for Braybrand, brings it high up to his face as he works out of the stretch. Sets up near the chest, spins around back to first, and Myers a head first slide back into the bag safely with that attack. High set for Braybrand and delivers. Quiggle pops it up left side and out of play, 1-1. Myers at first, nobody out. Just underway here in the top of the first. The series decider between the Otters and the Y'alls. 2 highly entertaining close games, the first 2 of this series. 6-4 win for Florence on Tuesday, and then an 11-10 victory for the Otters last night. 1-1 home. Outside, 2 balls to 1 strike. Mentioned in the open, though, the Otters pitching staff could not be happy about the first 2 days of this series. 13 hits in each game allowed by the Otters staff. Certainly not a typical week for this Otters pitching staff, statistically the best in the league. The 2-1 sails high. Myers takes off to second and slides in safely without a throw. Crashes into Ed Johnson. It's short. Overslid the bag a little bit with the light rain before the game, certainly making for a more slick surface. But St. Richardson didn't even make a throw down to second. Myers got such a huge jump. It gets stolen base number 30 of the season for Noah Myers. He's now 30 of 31 stealing bases this year. 2-2 count to Quiggle with Myers in scoring position. Pitch home. Quiggle fouls away again, straight back. Otters trying to score in the first inning for a second straight night. Back and forth, topsy-turvy game last night. Was a bullpen day for the Otters, so it's certainly not been a normal week for the Otters pitching staff. First time the Otters throwing a bullpen game all year. 2-2 home is sliced up the middle. Diving is Johnson to scoop it off a hop. Collects, throws to first, and beats Quiggle by a step. 2 outs. Tricky play for the shortstop Johnson. A liner up the middle, played it off a hop cleanly and able to collect behind the second base bag and beat Quiggle on the throw. Myers holds it second. So 2 outs, and it now brings up the ready right fielder Jeffrey Baez with Myers still at second. Braybrand peeking back at second. Myers is dancing there and winds home. Baez chops one left side off the glove of the third baseman Fuentes and rolling down the line into foul territory. Myers will score standing up. Baez jogs into second with an RBI stand-up double. The Otters score first in the first inning for a second straight night. A 2-out RBI double for Baez off the glove of the third baseman Fuentes. 104 miles per hour off the bat on a pitch in on the hands. Baez keeps those tips still, keeps it down the line, and hit too hot for Fuentes to handle at third, and it rolled all the way down the third base line and ended up bouncing off the jutting wall in foul territory down the line here at Thomas More Stadium. So a 1-0 Otters lead, and it brings up Dakota Phillips with Baez at second. First pitch home to the lefty, a fastball down the middle for a strike. Otters have had quite the last game and a half offensively here at Thomas More Stadium. Braybrand sized the shoulders in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Nasty changeup falling out of the zone, 0-2. Otters were shut out through the first 6 innings of baseball on Tuesday night, but scored 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th to mount a rally. Just couldn't finish his. Baez takes off to third, throw down to third. Fuentes tags him out, and that ends the inning. Baez took off a little bit too early before Braybrand had started his windup, turned around and threw out Baez at third base. That retires the side in the first inning, but the Otters score a run and take an early lead. An RBI double by Jeffrey Baez scores Noah Myers. Middle of the first, 1-0 Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the first inning from Thomas More Stadium. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls on a 2-out RBI double by Jeffrey Baez, putting Evansville in front. And now it's the righty Justin Watland on the bump for the Otters this evening from Florence. Watland making his 15th start of the season. Left side of the rubber, deals home. A first pitch misses outside for a ball to the lefty Tristan Garcia. Black glove for Watland, sets at the belt. Big kick and a delivery. A fastball misses low. 2 balls and no strikes to Garcia. 72 in the third innings pitch this season for Watland. 6.72 ERA is the highest of any active Otter starter. 2-0 misses high. 3 balls and no strikes. Watland doesn't have a win since June 20th. 2 losses and 2 no decisions in the last 4 starts as the 3-0 misses low for a ball. And a 4-pitch walk to Tristan Garcia to start off the outing for Justin Watland, working very quickly to start tonight. Watland's had some good moments this season, but hasn't been able to replicate the success he had last year when he had 9 quality starts and a 4.17 ERA. Just 3 quality starts this season so far for Watland, making his 5th of his last 8 starts here on the road. And Zeisler steps in, and the lefty takes a first pitch strike. Wind really picking up as a light drizzle starts to blow over Thomas More Stadium. 0-1, breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The first outing of the season for Watland against the Y'alls was back in the first series of the year here at Thomas More Stadium in late June. Now a steady drizzle starting to fall. The 1-1 misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It was an outing for Watland to forget. 2 2/3 innings pitched. He allowed 10 runs on 8 hits and 2 home runs. A grand slam by Craig Massey in the 3rd inning ended the outing for Watland. 2-1 is hammered high in the air down the right field line, hooking well foul, but man, look out. There's a guy biking on the street outside of Thomas More Stadium, and he was almost hit. Went over the street and onto the grassy hill on the other side of the street. Ball was hit a 425 feet by Hank Zeisler, but well foul. 2-2 count now. Watland delivers. Zeisler chops it foul to the right of the bag. Steady drizzle continuing to fall, and many fans going to seek cover. Some smartly brought umbrellas, and others looking for the minimal cover that is along the concourse here at Thomas More. 2-2 home. Outside and a full count to Zeisler. So Watland just his second outing against the Y'alls this season. And certainly the first start of the year for him here in Florence. One to forget about. Payoff pitch home. Swing and a miss. Change up on the outside corner. Strikes out Zeisler, and there's 1 away in the first inning. Garcia still at first as it brings up Brian Fuentes, the 3rd baseman. Now, one thing that Watland and the Otters have to like tonight, they don't see either Craig Massey or Brennan Price in the starting lineup for Florence. Price dealing with a back issue that made him a late scratch last night in the starting lineup and not playing again tonight as Fuentes takes the first pitch strike. And Massey has been banged up over the month, was hit by a pitch last night and exited. Is not in the starting lineup again tonight. 0-1 home, breaking ball sails high, 1-1. And those were the 2 guys. Massey hitting the grand slam off Watland in the 3rd inning. And Watland's start back here in Florence on June 24th. And Price, who had a 3-run home run in the 1st inning off Watland in that start. So neither of those guys in the lineup today. The 1-1 misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Garcia at first with 1 out in the bottom of the first. The Otters lead 1-0 on a drizzly Thursday night here from Florence. Have not lucked out with the weather all week here in Northern Kentucky. 2-1, chop left side and well foul. Bouncing off the backstop down the 3rd base line, 2-2. Watland out of the stretch on the left side of the rubber. Delivers. Popped up high in the air by Fuentes. Carrying out to left center field. Kona Quiggle a few steps back from the track. Makes the catch. 2 outs. So after the 4-pitch walk to Garcia to start the outing for Watland, a strikeout of Zeisler, now a fly out from Fuentes to center, brings up Zade Richardson, the catcher. Watland going with the change look today. He's wearing tall blue stockings instead of normal socks. First time I've seen that all year from Watland. Gray pants tucked just below the knees and high blue stockings with light blue stripes at the top, adorning the legs of Watland this evening. His first pitch to the lefty, or the righty, make it Zade Richardson, sails high for a ball. Watland at first, or Garcia at first, I should say, as the 1-0 from Watland misses in the turf, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs here in the first, and a 1-0 Otters lead. Just a light drizzle continuing to fall here at Thomas More Stadium. The wind is gusting out to right at the moment. 2-0. He is in the turf again. 3 balls and no strikes. Fastball, changeup, cutter, and slider. The 4-pitch mix for Watland. The righty from Reno, Nevada. In his second year with the Otters. Made 17 starts last season. This is 15th start of the 2023 season. 3-0 home. Breaking ball inside, nearly hit Richardson, but it's ball 4 anyways, and he flips the bat towards the dugout and takes his base at first. 2 walks have sandwiched 2 outs for Watland. There's 2 aboard with 2 out as Ray Zuber, the center fielder, comes to the plate, and the drizzle's starting to come down a little bit harder, and the wind blowing the precipitation around the field. This is tough conditions right now for the Otters on the field to deal with, but you don't love it as a batter either. Time is called by Justin Felix behind home plate. For the ready, Watland ready to face the lefty Zuber. Watland home. On the outside corner, a strike to Zuber. Biggest thing for Justin Watland all season long has been allowing too many home runs. It's really cost him. It certainly did in his start here in Florence. Here's the 0-1. On the outside corner, a strike. 0-2 to Zuber, and Watland a strike away from escaping the inning. He's allowed 18 home runs on the season. Nearly a quarter of all the Otters' homers this season given up have been given up by the righty Watlands. 18 of the 53 homers the Otters have allowed this year. Watland at the belt, the 0-2, fouled off the screen, and Zuber stays alive. In his last 4 outings for Watland pitched, 2 losses and 2 no decisions. He's allowed a combined 7 home runs with at least a homer in all 4 outings. It's tough to find success when giving up home runs. 0-2 home. In the turf, bounces to the right of Watland down the first base line. Felix picks it up, and down to third goes Garcia. Richardson stays at first, so runners on the corners now for Florence. A wet ball certainly not helping Felix behind home plate, trying to make a stop on a ball on the turf. It's an all artificial turf field here at Thomas More Stadium, so the rain not as much of a concern as it would be at Bosse. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia at third, Richardson at first, with 2 outs in the bottom of the first, a 1-0 Otters lead. Pitch home. Outside corner, strike 3 called. A fastball freezes Zuber on the outside corner, and Watland with 2 German-American bank strikeouts and a scoreless first inning. After 1 inning played, it's the Evansville Otters 1, the Florence Y'Alls 0 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Thomas More Stadium. Top of the second inning. Otters lead the Y'alls 1-0 in the series decider on a drizzly Thursday night outside of Cincinnati. A 2 RBI double or a 2-out RBI double, I should say, by Jeffrey Baez in the first inning, giving the Otters a 1-0 lead. Justin Watland working around 2 walks in the first for a scoreless first inning. Dakota Phillips leads off for the Otters here in the second and takes a first pitch strike at the letters. Dak coming off a big day yesterday. 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Brand out of the windup, the 0-1, swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 0-2. Phillips driving in 4 and a 2-run home run in the third inning, and then the go-ahead 2-out, 2 RBI base hit in the 6th for the Otters that put Evansville in front to last. The 0-2 in front of home plate, 1-2. Dak now 65 RBIs on the season. It's third most in the Frontier League West. Otters certainly would have not won last night without the big bat of Dakota Phillips. The 1-2 misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. His 2 hits yesterday as well, approaching a big milestone. 2-2 coming from Brand. Kicks and delivers. Flied left side and hooking out of play. Phillips stays alive. 248 career hits for Phillips in his professional career. 2 hits away from hitting 250. Big accomplishment for the 5th-year pro. 2-2 home. Lined right side up the middle and through into right center field and rolling all the way to the gap. Phillips a big turnaround first. He'll head to second as the ball rolls to the wall, and Phillips has a stand-up double. Double number 27 of the season for Dakota Phillips gives them the doubles lead in the Frontier League. Ball ripped up the middle to the right of the second base bag, and with a slick field, that ball just skidded off the turf and got quickly to the wall. Past Zuber, the center fielder, who eventually got there, and Phillips easily into second with a stand-up double. So Dak aboard at second with nobody out, and it brings up the ready third baseman, Yomar Reyes. 1-0 Otters lead, looking for more in the second. Brand delivers, swing and a miss by Reyes. A big looping breaking ball falling outside of the zone. High set for Brand and a throw. Reyes swings and lofts one into left field. 2 hops in front of Hoover, gets past his glove and rolls all the way to the wall. Phillips will score easily, and Reyes into second, standing up. It's 2-0 Otters as Lane Hoover misplayed a ball in left field. I don't think he ever touched it though, so it will go down as a double for Reyes, and it's 2-0 Evansville. This slick turf is tough to play in the rain. And Reyes, a hard hit ball to left, one hopped in front of Huber, couldn't get his body in front of it, and it bounced right over his glove. It does go as a double for Reyes. Back-to-back doubles by the Otters here to start the second. So now it brings up Austin Bose, who swings the first pitch, lines it into left, and a running catch made by Hoover. Catching the ball knee-high on a quickly falling line drive, and there's the first out of the inning. Austin Bose out on 1 pitch with Reyes still at second. Back-to-back doubles by the Otters to start the second, have given them a 2-0 lead. Justin Felix, the ready catcher, will come to the plate. Still a light drizzle continuing to fall, and the wind blowing the precipitation around on the field. It's been about the same for the last 10 minutes or so over the last inning. Justin Felix takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Ready catcher is making his series debut. His first game played since last Sunday. 1-0 home. Misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Brand on the left side of the rubber. High sent out of the stretch, delivers. Fastball inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Felix. Dak, a leadoff double to right center. Reyes falls him with a hard hit double to left that skipped over the glove of the left fielder Hoover to score the first run of the game. Or score the first run of the inning, I should say. The second run of the game for the Otters. They lead 2-0. Brand home. Inside corner, a strike. 3-1 to Felix. The Otters scored in 2 of the last 3 innings on Tuesday. They scored in 6 of 9 innings played yesterday, so you put the math together there. The Otters have scored in 10 of their last 14 innings now played. 3-1, big swing and a miss. Felix hacks at a breaking ball outside of the zone, and a full count to the ready catcher. Time is called by Felix. He'll readjust the batting gloves before this payoff pitch. Otters going for their first road series win in over a month. And it'd be a big one going into this weekend series against Washington. Big playoff implications. Payoff home from Brand. Inside, ball 4. Fastball nearly hit Felix, who backed out of the way, and the Otters have 2 aboard with 1 out. 2 walks for the Otters to go with 3 doubles off Bobby Brand. George Khalil will come to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Otters shortstop got the night off yesterday. Had a big night on Tuesday, 2 for 4, including a triple, though it was also a wet night on Tuesday. And Khalil ended up going on the slip and slide as the first pitch misses inside to the Australian 1-0. I was talking to him about it after the game. It was a wet field, rain was falling, and Khalil did a head-first slide into third to complete his triple. Was going to be in him plenty of time, but he overslid the bag by a couple feet and ended up being tagged out by the third baseman Fuentes. 1-0. Beautiful breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. 1-1. George said, as soon as I went into the slide and I realized how slick the turf was, knew he was in trouble. Ended up trying to pop up and just go to home because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get back to third. 1-1, misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. This was one of those plays where it's on an all-natural surface on dirt like at Bossy Field. He slides in safely even if it's a wet dirt. Nothing unusual has happened. Certainly got cheated of a triple. He's had a good last couple games for the Otters. He swings and misses at a breaking ball. 2-2. 3 games for George since returning from a 9-game absence. He's 4 of 9. 2 triples in a row. 2-1, 1 out, and a 2-2 count to Khalil with the Otters leading 2-0 in the second. Brand sized the shoulders and the pitch. Lofted right side, taking Zeisler back, reaches up the glove over his head and off the base of the wall. Ray is sent from third. The throw in from right is cut off, and it's 3-0 Otters. Another double for Evansville. It's their 4th double of the day, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Wind blowing out to right, just carried that ball over the head of the right fielder Zeisler and bounced right off the base of the wall. Reyes scores easily from second. Felix goes first to third. And George Khalil launches the 3rd double of the inning for the Otters and their 4th double in total already today. 3-0 Evansville, back to the top of the order, and the lefty Noah Myers. Brand delivers. Myers swings the first pitch and lofts it into left center field, reaching over Hoover over his head and bouncing off the warning track in the wall. Felix will score. Khalil jogs home. It's a 2 RBI double for Myers. Double after double after double. The 4th double of the inning, the 5th double of the game for the Otters. This is unbelievable. Myers driving one into the left center gap over the head of Hoover, scoring 2. 4 across in the inning. It's 5-0 Evansville. Now it's Gary Mattis. Myers at second, still one out. Ball is in the turf, and Richardson able to keep it in front of him. Well, the Otters in the series finale here in Florence back in late June hit 8 doubles, which tied a franchise single-game record. They are on pace right now to smash that by 1,000,000. Mattis swings and misses 1-1. I have never seen 4 doubles in 1 inning. That's remarkable. The Otters have 5 hits, and they're all doubles. Gap-to-gap power, the 1-1. This is low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mattis, and certainly helping with the slick field is making balls roll quicker to the wall. The wind as well pushing balls out. The Otters' excellent speed as well. Big reason the Otters are second in the league in doubles, only behind the New York Boulders, as Mattis slaps one foul right side, 2-2. Mattis will call times. The ball's thrown out of play by Zeisler and right. Pretty small crowd on this drizzly night. And the Otters off to a big lead, leading 5-0 here in the top of the second. 4 across here on in the second inning, courtesy of 4 doubles and a walk. 2-2. Sails high and a full count to Mattis. Mattis, the 7th batter of this inning for Evansville, and still just 1 out with Myers at seconds. Brabrand's 35th pitch here coming. Fires home, and Mattis spoils it foul off the edge of the bat. Payoff again. Mattis chops one up the middle, right to the shortstop, Bertzugloves. Tossed to first in time to beat Mattis. Myers goes to third base, but there's 2 away. That 4-3 ground out, though, seemingly routine, really showcased to me just how fast the ball is skipping off this wet artificial turf. That ball seemed like it sprung into the glove of Burks in a matter of a half a second. What felt like a ball that wasn't hit super hard. Really sprung off the wet turf. Going to Quiggle, steps in and takes a first pitch high for a ball, 1-0. 8th batter of the inning for the Otters. They played 4 in the second to take a 5-0 lead. Myers at third. The 1-0 home. Quiggle fouls it away, right side, 1-1. Otters entered today 152 doubles hit on the season, second most in the league, only behind the New York Boulders. Just a ton of guys on this team with both great speed and great gap-to-gap power. 1-1 home. Inside, and a good stop by Richardson, diving over to his right to keep the ball from going back to the backstop and scoring Myers. Drizzle starting to fall a little bit harder again. So here comes the 2-1 home. High, ball 3. It's been on and off drizzle and wind through the first 45 minutes of action here, but you know Otters love the water, and Evansville certainly hasn't been affected so far this evening. 3-run to Quiggle. Popped up out of play and a full count. This is not good either for the Y'alls. A busy bullpen for Florence. They've used 5 different arms out of their bullpen already this series. And Brabrand already over 40 pitches here in just the second inning. Another payoff home. Popped up by Quiggle, high in the sky in shallow right field. Second baseman Burks back, called off by the right fielder. Zeisler reaches up and makes the catch to retire the side. A doubles parade by the Otters in the second inning. 4 doubles for Evansville, and they lead 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Thomas More Stadium. 5-0 lead for Evansville over Florence as we move to the bottom of the second inning. 5 doubles for the Otters have given them a 5-0 lead. 4 runs in the second inning. Justin Watlin's got some great run support. Faces Harrison DeNicola here to lead off the bottom of the second. Fires in a strike to DeNicola after missing on the first pitch, and it's a 1-1 count to the lefty first baseman for Florence. Drizzle still falling as the 1-1 home swung on and missed. 1-2. RBI double by Jeffrey Baez in the first inning scored the first run for Evansville. Phillips, Reyes, Khalil, and Myers all with doubles in the second inning, helping put 4 runs on the board for the Otters. 1-2 from Watlin, fouled away, and DeNicola stays alive. Otters trying for just the second time this season to win a road series after dropping the series opener. 1-2, popped up by DeNicola into left field, bringing Myers a few steps towards the line. Under the baseball, makes the grab, 1 away. The last road series the Otters won back in early July against Joliet, the only road series this year. The Otters lost the series opener and then won back-to-back games to finish the series and win it. Something Andy McCauley talks about being really hard to do. If you want to point to maybe McCauley's favorite series on the road for the Otters, I think he would point to that Joliet series where the Otters played really, really well, really good baseball over the last 2 games of that series to move from June into July with the big series win over the Slammers, but since then, not much success on the road. Jeremiah Burks fouled away the first pitch, and the 0-1 misses low. 1-1 count to the ready second baseman. 1 out. Nobody on in the bottom of the second. 5-0 Otters lead. 1-1 to Burks. Breaking ball misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Otlin really increasing his pace in his 15th start of the season. The 2-1 fastball outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Guy is typically a pretty methodical pitcher on the mound, but this looks to be an adjustment made. Try to work a little bit quicker. The 3-1, breaking ball falls in the turf for ball 4, and a walk to Burks. Watlin yet to allow a hit. It's 3 walks. The only base runner so far today for Florence. Burks at first with 1 out. The ready shortstop Ed Johnson comes to the plate. Watlin at the belt delivers home. A changeup on the inner third for a strike, going 1. Nothing like early run support to help boost the confidence of a pitcher. 0-1. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Watlin, 2 wins on the road this season. This last one coming the series right after the All-Star break at Tri-City just over a month ago. Watlin steps off, fires back to Burks, and Burks dives back in safely ahead for a slide back to the bag. 1-1 count with 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the second. Otters lead 5-0 on a drizzly Thursday night from Florence. 1-1 home, popped up by Johnson behind home plate. Justin Felix looking up at the screen, and it will bounce into the third row of the seats. Take another big hop over more fans, and a couple of guys with beer bats in their hands going after. John Beamer and Tim Holgrafer got to look out down there. 2 Otters pitchers helping track the pitches tonight for the Otters. Sitting about 10 rows back behind home plate. 1-2, misses side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters have a rotation. Typically the last 2 starting pitchers, obviously not available for the game, will dress in street clothes and sit in the seats for the night. Here's the 2-2. Johnson grounds it left side through the hole and into left field. A base hit for Ed Johnson. Softly hit grounder, but hit in the right place through the 5-6 hole in between Reyes and Khalil is the first hit of the day for Florence. And there's 2 aboard with 1 out as Lane Hoover, the left fielder, comes to the plate for Florence. So the Otters will have the last 2 starting pitchers sit in the seats, or if it's at Bosse Field, they'll sit up in the press box. They've got 2 seats up there. They'll monitor Yakertek. They will chart the Otters' pitches, their speeds, the counts, a lot of analytical data than the Otters pitching staff, led by pitching coach Max Peterson, will use to break down pitchers' performances and look for ways to improve. First pitch to Lane Hoover sails high for a ball, 1-0. Burks at second, Johnson at first. The 1-0 home, a breaking ball settles right in the heart of the zone for a strike, 1-1. 5-0 Otters lead here in the bottom of the second. One home. A bunt pulled down by Hoover, and he fouls it off into the Otters dugout. Got the hands down too low and popped it up off the top of the bat. Little sneak attack bunt there. Sometimes be a little more effective, you think, especially on a slick turf. Trying to fool the Otters' corner infielders. Reyes aligned with the bag at third, and Phillips a few steps behind the bag at first. Now a 1-2 pitch home, swing and a miss. Changeup falling out of the zone for the 3rd German-American big strikeout for Justin Watland. 2 outs in the inning, back to the top of the order, and the designated hitter Tristan Garcia. 5-0 Otters in front of the Y'alls. Lefty batting Garcia reached on a walk in the first. And a low crouch in the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch home from Watland swung on and missed by Garcia, 0-1. Y'alls without their leadoff batter, Brandon Price, the last 2 nights dealing with some back issues. And Zeisler led off last night. He's batting second tonight, and Garcia in the leadoff role. The 0-1, slice left side, diving is Khalil. It bounces off his glove into left field. Sent from third is Burks, and a head-first slide in safely without a tag. Felix picks it up and chucks it into center field. Around from third, coming in to score is Johnson, and the Y'alls have 2 on the board. A base hit for Garcia off the edge of the glove of Khalil into left field. Myers threw it in. Felix came out to receive the ball and looked like they had Johnson in a rundown between second and third base. And he started going back to second, but Felix threw it into center field, allowing Johnson to come around and score the second run in the inning. And Garcia ends up going to second on the throw. So a throwing error by Justin Felix. That second run unearned, coming around Johnson unearned. Burks scoring on the RBI base hit by Garcia. That's an earned run. So the Y'alls have 2 across here in the second, and it's 5-2 with Garcia at second. The batter, Hank Zeisler, took a first pitch high for a ball. Watland peeking back at second, and the 1-0 home just misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, when you're losing big, you need a spark to get yourself back into it, and the Y'alls get it with a 2-out RBI base hit by their little 5-5 leadoff hitter, Tristan Garcia. 2-0, misses well high. Phillips coming out of the crouch to receive it. 3 balls and no strikes. Watland peeks back at second. Working on the left side of the rubber, delivers home, a breaking ball inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Zeisler. It's the 4th walk for Watland, and it puts 2 aboard with 2 outs and brings up Brian Fuentes. Command was a problem for Watland in his last outing last Friday against Washington. He only allowed 5 hits, but he walked 5 batters. Ended up allowing 5 earned runs and 6 total runs in a loss suffered against the Wild Things at Bosse Field. 2 on 2 out for the righty Fuentes. Watland delivers a slider on the outside corner, called strike 1. Fuentes flew out to center his first time up to the plate. Hitting .282 on this season. He had a solo home run yesterday in the fourth for Florence. 0-1. Bouncing in the turf. 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters score 4 in the second. The Y'alls have gone 2 back. Still a 5-2 lead here for Evansville. Wallen out of the stretch. Sets at the belt and fires home. 1-1 slice left side. Righty Khalil, the shortstop. He tosses to Boast, who steps on the second base bag for the force out to end the second inning. 6-4 Grandau retires the sign in the second, but the Y'alls get 2 runs. Tristan Garcia driving in 1 and a error by Justin Felix, the Otters catcher, scoring another after 2 innings complete. It's the Otters in front 5-2 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Back in Florence, top of the third inning, 5-2 lead for Evansville over the Y'alls. Jeffrey Baez leads off for the Otters in the top of the third. And takes the first pitch strike on a looping breaking ball from Bobby Braybrand. 5 doubles for the Otters have helped them out to a 5-2 lead. Baez had the first double of the game for the Otters in the first. Pitch home to Baez is a broken back grounder up the middle over is the shortstop. Johnson collects, tosses to first in time to beat Baez by 2 strides, 1 away. Brings up Dakota Phillips with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the third inning. The drizzle has subsided for now. Still dreary dark clouds overhead and the lights on here in Florence. Phillips swings and misses at the first pitch. A breaking ball falling off the table into the turf, 0-1. Wind has died down as well. It certainly helped the Otters' doubles. Gusting wind blowing balls quickly out to the wall. 0-1 home. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Red hot Otters offense. Pounding together 11 runs on 12 hits, and 6 of those hits yesterday were extra base hits. Extra base hits win you baseball games. 1-1. Fouled straight back off the screen, 1-2. Certainly the Otters did it with the long ball yesterday. 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple for Evansville. 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters lead the league in triples, second in the league in doubles, and after a quiet weekend at Bosse Field, they didn't hit a home run at Bosse over the weekend against Washington. The power has returned here in Florence. 2-2 outside and a full count. I mean, the Otters on Friday against Washington, they had 16 hits in that loss, tied a season best, but it's just a lot of singles. You strand runners on. Ended up losing 8-6. Payoff home. Phillips swings and drives one into center field, taking Zuber back at the wall. See ya! Dakota Phillips, a massive solo blast to straightaway center, extends the lead to 6-2 Evansville. The 250th career hit for Phillips is a massive solo home run. Someone's going to have to go run out and save that baseball way out in center. A massive blast for Dak, 413 feet off the bat, bouncing off the top of the batter's eye in straightaway center. First pitch sails high for a ball to Yomar Reyes. 1-0 home. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's back-to-back days with a home run for Dakota Phillips. He had a 2-run homer in the third yesterday. He hits a massive solo blast here in the third today. 2-0 is foul, tipped right off the top of the catcher's mask of Burks. Or Richardson, I should say. 2-1. Home run number 9 of the season for Phillips. And what a series he's had. 6 hits now in the series for Dak. He's driven in 5 runs. He just loves playing here in Florence. 2-1 home. Popped up by Reyes off the end of the bat into shallow right. Coming in is Zeisler under the baseball, makes the catch. 2 away. Dak had a massive game in the Otters rubber match against the Y'Alls here in Florence in late June. Had 3 doubles in that game. 3 of those 8 Otters doubles, which tied a single game record in Otters history with 3 doubles. And he's been a Y'Alls killer again this weekend here in Florence. 2 outs, nobody on for Austin Boast. He takes the first pitch strike on the inside corner. Otters have scored in all 3 innings to start baseball here tonight. 0-1 to Boast. Sails high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, that home run for Dakota Phillips, his 250th professional hit. 239 have come with the Otters, another 11 with the Lightning Sloss of the Constellation Energy Professional Baseball League during the COVID summer of 2020. Boast takes inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one. Right on the inside corner on a breaking ball. Boast turns around to look at the Otters dugout, shaking his head in disbelief. 2-2 count with 2 outs and nobody on. 6-2 the Otters lead. They played at 11 last night. They have 6 here in the first 3 innings on 6 extra base hits. 2-2, fouled off the end of the bat, and Boast stays alive. 239 total career hits for Phillips as an Otter. That's the 7th most all-time in Otters team history. Another 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good take by Boast and a full count. The Otters beating up Bobby Brabrand today, who's struggled for much of this season. ERA over 6.5 entering today. Payoff home. Lined up the middle and down into center field for a base hit. Boast is going to hold it first, and there's the Otters' first single of the day. After 6 extra base hits, Boast takes one off the bat and into center for a 2-out single. Seventh hit of the day for the Otters. Keeps the inning going here in the third. A runner at first with 2 outs, and the catcher Justin Felix coming to the plate. Pitch home to Felix, misses inside for a ball, 1-0. 1 in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third. It's 6-2 Evansville. 1-0 to Felix, swing and a miss, 1-1. The Otters might ask for the last 2 weeks of the season for their playoff pitch if they can just relocate here to Thomas More Stadium. Nowhere has the Otters offense been better all season than when they've played it here against the Y'alls. 1-1. Felix spoils off the screen, 1-2. The Otters, when they played at Bossy Field against Florence, didn't do much with the bats. They just combined 11 runs in that whole series in 3 games. They had 11 runs in total just last night, and they have 6 already tonight, and we're still in the 3rd inning. Another 1-2 to Felix. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boast lurking off the bag at first, races back on a throw down from Richardson. 1 on, 2-2 count with 2 outs. 6-2 Otters lead in the top of the 3rd. Dakota Phillips with 6 hits now in the series for the Otters. 2-2 home. Popped up off the end of the bat of Felix and out of play. Another 2-2, breaking ball outside. Felix has worked it full. Brand over 70 pitches thrown now. He's not going to be able to go a lot much longer for Florence, but they don't have too many more options in their bullpen. Payoff pitch to Felix. Swing and a miss on a fastball, and that retires the side. A 413-foot home run by Dakota Phillips extends the lead to 6-2. The 250th professional hit for Dak, an all-time Otter with another milestone. It's 6-2 Evansville, middle of the 3rd on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Florence, bottom of the 3rd inning, a 6-2 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. Zane Richardson leading off in the 3rd for Florence. Swings at a pitch from Justin Watland, grounds it up the middle, bobbled by Khalil, now collects one off to first, bounces off the glove of Phillips and back to the backstop, and Richardson is safe at first. not one, but two mistakes there by Khalil, and it will go down an error on the shortstop. First, the bobble on the grounder to Khalil. Cost him, I think, to rush the throw a little bit. One opted to Phillips, who couldn't pick it off the turf, and that allows Richardson to reef safely on the E6. Two errors here on the day for the Otters. But they lead 6-2 as Ray Zuber, the lefty center fielder, takes the first pitch high from a ball from Watland. Dark overcast clouds overhead, but rain has held up for the last 30 minutes or so. Pitch misses low, 2-0 to Zuber. Appeal down to third. He went around, so 1-1. 6-2 Otters lead. 1 in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third. 7 hits with 6 of them going for extra bases. 5 doubles and a solo home run by Dakota Phillips. The 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dakota Phillips, 414-foot solo home run, the 250th professional hit for the Otters All-Star catcher. 2-1, fouled away by Zuber, and it's 2-2. Plane flying right overhead of Thomas More Stadium. The 2-2 home is ripped high in the air to right center field. Forget about this one. Way out of here. Ray Zuber, a 2-run home run, trims the lead in half. A plane flies overhead, and Zuber launches that ball for takeoff. A 396-foot blast, 2-run homer over the right field wall. Cuts the lead back down to 2 for Florence. What a week it's been for Ray Zuber. 3 straight games with a home run. They've all been 2-run homers. Harrison DeNicola swings the first pitch and fouls it into the seats, 0-1. 2-run home run in the 7th inning on Tuesday for Zuber. 2-run home run in the 4th yesterday, and he has a 2-run home run here in the 3rd today. Owensboro native, not too far from Kentucky, has had quite the week against the Otters. 0-1 from Watland, breaking ball on the outside corner, his strike, 0-2. Just like that, the Y'alls get back in the game. The 2-run home run by Zuber to trim the lead to 6-4. Watland winds and throws. DeNicola pops it up behind home plate and out of play. Another 0-2 from Watland. Swing and a miss, ball in the turf, picked up by Felix, and he'll tag out DeNicola. That's the first out of the inning. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Bars professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. 1 out, nobody on for the righty Jeremiah Burke. 6-4 Otters lead. Watland delivers home. Burke swings the first pitch and launches it into left center field. A 1-up in front of Myers, who cuts it off in the gap. Burks takes a big turn around first and holds there as the ball is relayed in. And the Y'alls have a runner at first with 1 out in the inning. Four hits for Florence, but they have 4 runs. 2 scored in the second, and now 2-run home run by Zuber here in the 3rd with a runner on. The righty Ed Johnson takes the first pitch low for a ball. Watland getting some run support, but these Florence bats have beat up Otters pitching all week. Watland steps off, fires back to first. At first slide back in by Burke, beats the tag. Three-stride lead at first for Burks, who has good speed. Phillips holding him on the bag, and Burks takes off way before Phillips throws. Felix just picks up the ball and has nothing to do but watch Burks not even slide, just step on second base. He took off way before Watland started his windup. and just walks into second base. So he's in scoring position with 1 out and a 2-0 count to Johnson. The Y'alls are a swing of the bat away from tying this game. 2-0. At the letters for a strike. 2 balls to 1 strike. The home run bugaboo continues for Justin Watland. Now 5 games in a row allowing a home run. He's allowed 19 on the season. 3 of them coming here at Thomas More Stadium. 2-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. 3 balls to 1 strike. The command has not been great today for Watland, and while he's only allowed 4 hits, feels somewhat similar to his last outing against Washington. The command costing him putting runners on, and then big hits by the opposing hitters, putting up some big numbers. 3-1, a breaking ball at the outside corner for his strike, and a full count to Johnson. Three walks for Watland 2 games ago, 5 walks in his last start, and he has 5 now today. Payoff home, chopped up the middle, diving Khalil past the shortstop's glove into center field. Burke sent from third, Hill scores standing up, and the Y'alls trim the lead to just 1. RBI base hit for Johnson up the middle. Khalil gave it everything he had with a full extension dive, but outside of his reach. And just like that, 3 in the third for Florence, and the Otters lead just down to 1. It's 6-5. Otters bullpen still quiet. Justin Felix out to have a quick word with Watland. 4 walks by Watland, 4 strikeouts and 2 in the third, and 4 earned runs across. And 5 hits. 2 in the second and now 3 in the third here for the Y'alls. And they trailed 5-0 after the middle of the second, but they're not going away. Brings up Lane Hoover, the lefty left fielder, with 1 on and 1 out. Hoover hammers the first pitch down the left field line, but foul and into the construction site. Down the left field line, there's a huge construction site. Gotten here early and still seeing some workers working around 2 o'clock before the game. 0-1 to the lefty. Hoover is swung on and lofted into shallow center field. Racing in is Quiggle. It holds up enough for him to make a running grab for the second out of the inning. Quiggle, a racing catch. 2 outs and back to the top of the order in Tristan Garcia. Johnson at first. The Otters holding on to a 6-5 lead here in the bottom of the third. Has got another shootout similar to last night when the Otters won 11-10. Watland home. And a breaking ball at the knees in for a strike. They're building both new clubhouses down the left field line as well as a new front office for the Y'alls. Garcia grounds one to the right of the first base bag, 0-2. The clubhouse here right now at Thomas More Stadium, it's about a quarter of a mile uphill in the back of the parking lot. Very separate from the ballpark. So both players have to walk through all of the parking lot to get up to the clubhouse. It's not the most convenient. 0-2. Popped up left side by Garcia and hooking foul. So the construction work hopefully completed for next season. And now the clubhouse will just be a short walk down the third base line, out a door and right there instead of a little bit of a workout. 0-2 to Garcia, 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The Otters leading 6-5. There's been runs scored in 5 of the first 6 half innings of this ballgame. Watland at the belt, the 0-2. Chopped right side through the 4-3 hole, a roller into right field. Baez fields it and tosses it in as Johnson holds at second base. A ground ball base hit to right for Garcia. The 6th hit of the game for Florence, and there's 2 on with 2 outs. Brings up Hank Zeisler, the right fielder, and it brings out the pitching coach for the Otters, Max Peterson. Watland's at 73 pitches now. And while the Y'alls certainly don't love where they are bullpen-wise, the Otters don't either. A Bullpen day yesterday, and the Otters used 5 pitchers. All 5 arms in the Otters bullpen have already been used through the first 2 games of this series. Otters really could use Justin Watland to get a few more outs, with still 3 more games left to be played this weekend in Washington. Zeisler coming to the plate as Max Peterson walks back to the Otters dugout. Johnson at second, Garcia at first with 2 outs. Watland on the left side of the rubber, delivers home to Zeisler. Sails high, 1-0. 8th batter of the inning for Florence as they've scored 3 in the 3rd, and they're looking for more. Try to tie or even take the lead. The tie run at second, the go-ahead run at first. Otters infield playing back, the 1-0, high for a ball again. 2 balls and no strikes. The Y'alls have combined 26 hits off Otters pitching the first 2 days, and they have 6 hits through the first 3 innings this evening. 2-0 delivery. Misses low for a ball. 3-0 to Zeisler. Stretching in the Otters bullpen, but nobody throwing. I have no idea where the Otters would go. The first arm out of the bullpen. Here's the 3-0. Misses high for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Zeisler. Loads the bases and brings up Brian Fuentes. Most of those pitches not even close. Johnson at third. Garcia at second. Zeisler at first. Brian Fuentes, the ready first baseman here to face Watland. Fuentes 0 for 2 today. Ready on ready matchup with the bases juiced and 2 outs. Watland home, a breaking ball at the knees for a much needed strike. Fuentes had a big 3-hit day on Tuesday, has 4 hits on the series. Big moment in this ballgame. 0-1. Bounces in the dirt. Good stop by Watland moving to his right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sun peeking out behind the clouds on this dreary evening. The 1-1 home, grounded left side. Over is Khalil to collect. Tosses to second. Bo steps on the bag in time for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Otters escape with the lead still intact. 3-run score for the Y'alls. All 9 batters come to the plate. And another barn burner after 3 innings. It's Florence 5, Evansville 6 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Three innings paid from Florence and another high-scoring affair. It's a 6-5 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. George Khalil will lead off the top of the 4th inning for Evansville. First pitch to the righty Khalil. Misses inside for a ball, 1-0. First time we've seen sun in the evening here in Florence. Some blue sky opening up overhead, but some very ominous gray clouds off in the distance. 1-0, breaking ball on the outside corner, a strike. 1-1 strike. The sun just shining out in the outfield, not affecting the infielders. High set for Bray Brand and the 1-1 home. Inside, 2-1 strike to Khalil. You looked at the pitching matchup going into this game. Two pitchers with ERAs over 6. Wind blowing out. A hitter-friendly ballpark. 2-1, breaking ball at the knees for a strike, 2-2. And two very confident offenses after 21 combined runs yesterday. They had a feeling this would be a high-scoring affair, and it's been just that. 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors for Evansville. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Florence. 2-2 count to Khalil. Bray Brand home. Khalil lost one into left center field over the head of Johnson. 2 hops in front of Hoover. A leadoff knock for George Khalil. Oh, this game might never finish. I might be asked to come down to pitch the 9th inning at this point. Who knows? 14 hits already, and we're only in the 4th inning. Noah Myers will come up for the 3rd time already today. He has a walk and a double. 8th hit of the game for the Otters. They have 6 extra base hits, 5 doubles, and a home run. First pitch to Myers, fouled straight back off the screen. Bray Brand's at 78 pitches now here in the 4th inning. Still quiet in the Y'alls bullpen. 3-stride lead at first for Khalil, held on the bag by DeNicola. Third baseman Fuentes is shaded over closer to the shortstop position as the 0-1 misses low for a ball. 1-1 to Myers. Otters with a run across in every inning. They put up 4 in the second as they had 4 doubles in the inning. 1-1 home. High again, 2-1 strike. 2 walks, 1 strikeout by Bray Brand. He's allowed 6 earned on 8 hits. Bray Brand on the left side of the rubber, comes home. Myers swings and lost one into left center field. Zuber back, looking up. That's here. Noah Myers, a 2-run homer. And Evansville makes it 8-5. The 4th home run in the last 8 games for Noah Myers. Back-to-back ball games with a homer for the Canadian. And the Otters bats are an unstoppable force. Home run number 15 for Myers. He is red hot for the Otters. 2nd home run of the day for the Otters. Their 7th extra base hit. First pitch to Gary Mattis misses low. The 1-0 is fouled away by Mattis, 1-1. 8-5 Evansville. Both Noah Myers and Dakota Phillips back-to-back games with home runs. Noah, after a hitless day on Tuesday, went 2 for 3 yesterday, scored 3 times. He's now scored already twice today on a double, a home run, and a walk. Mattis takes low, 2-1 strike. Over the last 24 hours, it's just not looked like a fair fight. 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1 strike. It feels like they need to change the rules and allow pitchers to strike out batters on 2 strikes or something right now, because both offenses are just ruling this series. 3-1, Mattis swings and drives one into center field. Zuber a step back, and now coming back in and makes the catch for the first out of the 4th. On a Quiggle, the Otters center fielder comes to the plate with 1 out and nobody on here in the 4th. 8-5 Otters lead. They've scored in all 4 innings today. After last night scoring in 6 of 9 innings. Otters scored in 10 of the last 14 innings of baseball played in this series. Bray Brand home to the lefty Quiggle. It's a fastball called a strike. 5 runs scored in this series now by Noah Myers. 2 today, 3 yesterday. 0-1 to Quiggle. Is lofted into shallow center field. This will get down for a hit. Off the end of the bat into shallow center, a bloop base hit for Quiggle, his first of the day. And the Otters have another runner aboard at first with one out. It's hit number 10 already for the Otters as Jeffrey Baez comes to the plate. The Y'alls finally have a couple guys standing up. Still don't see anyone throwing, but Brand is getting battered here tonight in Florence. Home in the first pitch off the back of Baez. Turns around and took it right in between the shoulder blades. 2 on now for the Otters with 1 out as Phillips coming up. The first hit batter by Brand, who's walked 2. Kicks out the artificial turf around the rubber. You'd think in most situations he's long gone, but you're in August and everyone's bullpen is tired, and Florence especially all season has just felt like they've been pitching from behind. Exhausted bullpen all year, and Brand will continue to throw here and face Dakota Phillips, who's already 2 for 2 today, a double and a home run. Quiggle at second, Baez at first. Pitch home from Brand. Misses low, 1-0 to Dak. A 413-foot solo home run to center by Phillips for his 250th professional hit. Back-to-back days with a home run for Dak. 1-0 from Brand. Sails high, 2 balls and no strikes to Phillips. 27 doubles, 9 home runs, 66 batted in. The 79th game of the season for Dakota Phillips. 2-0 home. Outside, ball 3. Now, Dak got off to a slow start at the plate this season. Had a big July, hitting over 300, and it's carried over into the month of August, especially this week. The 3-0 is swung on and fouled away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Dak, who led the Otters with a .313 batting average last year, but a hand injury had him out for almost the entire second half of the season. He has really thrived since the All-Star break for Evansville. Brand steps off, looks back. Quiggle to second. 2 on, 1 out, 3-1 count to Phillips. Otters lead 8-5 in the top of the 4th. A 2-run home run by Myers extending the lead. 3-1 home. Lined right side, right at the second baseman, Burks, who makes a one-need catch for the second out of the inning. Nifty play by Jeremiah Burks at second, leaning over to his right, down to a knee to make a nifty snag. The second out of the inning. Both runners get back before a throw by the second baseman. 2 on, 2 out. So it brings up Yomar Reyes, who's 1 for 2 with a double today. Brand home. Misses low for a ball. That's pitch number 96 for Brand. The Y'alls do have a righty now warming in their bullpen. 1-0 to Reyes. Fouled off the top of the mask of Richardson. 1-1. 11 runs on 12 hits yesterday for the Otters. They have mounted 8 runs on 10 hits already today. 1-1 home. Outside corner, called a strike. 1-2 to Reyes. Brand comes home. Breaking ball misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yomar. 10 hits for the Otters, but the extra base hits, unbelievable today. 5 doubles and 2 home runs. 7 extra base hits for the Otters, who had 8 in the series finale here in Florence 2 months ago. The 2-1, chop left side to the shortstop Johnson. He bobbles it, picks it back up. Shovel toss, misses the second base bag. Rolling on the infield and coming home is Quiggle. Oh, foot first slide, scores without a throw, and it's 9-5 on another error by the shortstop, Ed Johnson. 2 errors yesterday by Johnson, and a grounder that just eats him up. And he made more of a mess out of an error than it even needed to be. Bobbled the ball and just rushed an underhand throw to second to try to get the force out for Baez, and threw it past Jeremiah Burks, and just rolling out onto the green of the infield turf. Eventually picked up by the first baseman, DeNicola. Quiggle came all the way around to score. Baez safely at second, and Reyes aboard at first, as it's 9-5 Otters. In E6, Ed Johnson has had a challenging week at shortstop, a rookie shortstop from Alabama. And the inning continues for the Otters as Austin Boast, the Otters ready second baseman, digs in. Braybrand home, a slider catches the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Boast the 8th batter of the inning here for the Otters, as Braybrand just threw his 100th pitch of the evening. 0-1 home. Looping breaking ball on the outside corner. A strike, 0-2. That might be the 2 best pitches back-to-back we've seen all night but from Braybrand. It's coming a little bit too late, though. The Otters nearly saw their whole 5-run lead disappear. Have it back out to 4 here in the 4th. 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justin Watland, not his best night. He's allowed 5 runs on 6 hits. 3 came across in the 3rd, but the Otters bullpen is quiet again, and Watland with another lead will come out for the 4th, it appears. 1-2 to Boast. Fouled off the inside of the bat and back to the screen. Six Otters have scored runs today. 7 scored runs yesterday. Evansville's offense having another series to remember here in Florence. 1-2 home. Chop left side and foul. And Boast keeps the at-bat alive. The clouds have mostly parted ahead, and we have a pleasant baby blue colored sky overhead. Some light sunshine bouncing off the billboards out in right field. Making way for a pretty pleasant evening after rain off and on up until first pitch, and a light drizzle through the first couple innings. 1-2 home. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Boast. Otters' patience has been great tonight as well. They struck out just once, putting balls in play, and they made things as hard as possible for Bobby Braybrand. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count. Pitch home. Popped up by Boast, right side. First baseman DeNicola in foul territory under the baseball and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Side finally retired in the 4th, but another big number put up by the Otters. They sent 8 batters to the plate, scored 3 runs. Noah Myers, the exclamation point, with a 2-run home run for his 2nd homer in as many days. Bottom of the 4th, it's the Otters 9, the Y'alls 5 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the fourth inning from Thomas More Stadium. We've played an hour and a half of baseball, 14 runs across, 16 combined hits, and an Otters 9-5 lead in this series decider. Justin Watland comes home to Zade Richardson and fires the first pitch outside to the ready batter. 80th pitch of the night for Watland. He winds and throws. Low again to Richardson. 2 balls and no strikes. Watland struggled with his command tonight. 2 runs coming across in the second, 3 in the third. He's walked 5 batters and allowed 6 hits. 2-0. At the knees, a much-needed strike. 2-1. But he's got all the run support he can ask for if he can just find a little bit of a rhythm to put together a couple good innings for the Otters and get some length, a little more rest for the Otters' pen. 2-1, misses high. 3-1 to Richardson. Watland delivers home. It's low for ball 4. A leadoff walk to Richardson. Not the way Watland was looking to start a new inning, and want to start innings well. It's not happened today for Watland and the Otters behind him. First 4 innings, the leadoff batter has reached for Florence. They've scored 5 runs over their last 2 innings batted. Ray Zuber comes up, the lefty center fielder swings and misses at the first pitch. No one's had a better series than Ray Zuber. He has 3 home runs now on this series, a 2-run homer apiece in all 3 games, and a total of 6 hits on the series. 0-1 from Watland. Breaking ball just misses. 1-1. Zuber, we mentioned he's from Owensboro, Kentucky. It's about 30 minutes down the Ohio River from Evansville. Was a legendary player at Owensboro, both baseball, football, and basketball. A 3-sport athlete. The 1-1 chomped off the end of the bat and off the front of the Otters dugout 1 and 2. Was actually a really, really good quarterback for Owensboro Catholic. He was the runner-up Mr. Kentucky football his senior year of high school as a quarterback for Owensboro Catholic, but decided to go to the baseball route instead. Stayed in Kentucky. The 1-2 is fouled left side and out of play. Became a Hilltopper down in Bowling Green, not too far from Owensboro. Had a strong 4-year career with Western Kentucky before now starting his pro career here with the Y'alls. 1-2, misses high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And facing in some ways his hometown team in the Otters, only 30 minutes away from his hometown. He is, all 3 series, been really good for the Y'alls against the Otters. Sometimes that extra dose of motivation can bring out some magic. 2-2 from Watlands. Popped up off the end of the bat, high in the air behind home plate. Justin Felix, the catcher, throws the mask under the baseball, makes the catch. 1 away. An easy play with the setting sunshine and still a slick baseball from earlier rain. Felix makes a nice catch behind the plate. Looks a lot harder than Felix made it look. So 1 out in the 4th. Zuber retired for the 2nd time today. Richardson still at first, and it brings up the first baseman, lefty batter Harrison DeNicola. Otters lead 9-5 in the bottom of the 4th. Watland fires home, a breaking ball on the inner third. Almost a full canvas of blue sky overhead. The 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is what I was expecting all week here in Florence. That's what the forecast said at the start of the week. We were going to get beautiful blue sky every night. We're finally getting a sunset on this lovely evening from Thomas More Stadium. 1-1 to Nicola. Popped up into center field. Kona Quiggle fighting the sun, takes a few steps in, reaches up the glove, and makes the catch. 2 away. Back-to-back outs for Watland. Trying to work a scoreless 4th inning. Richardson at first. Brings up Jeremiah Burks, the second baseman. making his series debut today, and he scored twice already, a walk and a single. Came around to score in the second and the third. Ready on ready matchup, pitch home, breaking ball sails high, 1-0. Otters lead 9-5 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Evansville trying to get back to the playoffs for the second straight years. Burke swings and misses 1-1. Otters enter the night 5 back of first place Gateway and 3 back of second place Schaumburg. 5.5 up on the Washington Wild Things, who are chasing them for that third and final playoff spot. The 1-1 in the dirt for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Florence pretty much out of the playoff picture. They're 14.5 games back in 6th place in the West, 12 games under 500. 2-1 from Watland. Breaking ball sails high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Those Frontier League standings brought to you by Steel Corp. Joliet's still in the playoff picture as well. They are 6.5 back of the Otters and a game back of Washington. 3-1. Outside, ball 4 to Burks. 2 walks here in the 4th inning. There's 2 on with 2 out, and Ed Johnson, the shortstop, comes to the plate. The Y'alls trying to score for a 3rd consecutive inning and trim back a 4-run lead for Evansville. Johnson with 2 singles today in a run. He has 6 hits on the series. Watland out of the stretch, takes a big deep breath. This will be pitch number 100 for the righty. Delivers home, check swing by Johnson, and he offered on a pitch in the dirt, 0-1. Watland looks back at second and delivers home. Sails high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Richardson at second, Burks at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and the Otters leading 9-5. 21 combined runs last night, and we're well on to pace to have even more tonight. 1-1 home. Popped up off the end of the bat into shallow right center field. Quiggle, a long run, racing in and makes the running catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Quiggle on a dead sprint makes a big catch to retire the side in the 4th inning, and Watland works the 4th scoreless. 4 innings complete. The Otters in front 9-5 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Top 5 from Florence. 9-5 lead for Evansville over Florence. The Otters have scored in all 4 innings today. They will now face the Florence bullpen. The day down for Bobby Braybrand as he allows 9 runs on 10 hits. The Otters face Carter Puri, the rookie righty who's from Fishers, Indiana. First pitch home is fouled straight back by Justin Felix. Puri pitched on Tuesday night in relief for Florence, and in an inning pitch allowed 2 hits on 2 runs. 0-1 from the side armor, misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Felix. Kona Quiggle hit a 2-run home run after Phillips doubled. The 2 runs coming off Puri in his 1 inning pitched on Tuesday night. Working on the far right side of the rummer, comes around from the side. A slider misses outside for a ball. Appeal down to first. Felix held up 2-1. The young rookie this season for Florence. One of the many young arms in this Florence pen. Here's the 2-1 home. Slider sails outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Puri, a 3.55 ERA in 26 appearances, 50 and 2/3 innings pitched. One of the better, more consistent arms this year, really, for Florence. The 3-1 swung on and missed, and a full count. Batting average against, just .209. He's had some good moments, but the Otters hit him well on Tuesday night. Full count to Felix, who will call time. 9-5 lead for the Otters here in the top of the 5th. Explosive Otters offense for a second straight night. Payoff home. At the knees, strike 3 called. Just the second strikeout of the day for the Otters. Felix goes down looking. 1 away in the 5th. Y'alls making a call to the bullpen. All calls to the bullpen today brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. 1 out, nobody on for George Khalils. The Otters lead 9-5 in the 5th. Puri home. Slider misses outside, 1-0. Bright baby blue sky overhead, starting to darken with the sun setting to the southwest. The light starting to come into effect on this Thursday evening. Started rainy, finishing sunny. 1-0, fouled right side out of play, 1-1. George, one of many Otters to have a big day today. Already has 2 hits, a double in the 2nd, base hit in the 4th. 1-1 home. Khalil lines one up the middle into left center field, a base hit. Cutting it off in the gap is Zuberer. He'll toss it in as Khalil will turn back to first base. Good throw by Zuberer in the left center gap. But it's a base hit for George, and he has a 3-hit day. 5 hits in 2 games on the series for George Khalil. After a 9-game absence, he gets just some time off. Khalil has come back with a vengeance. He has 7 hits now in his 4 games back, dating back to the start of last weekend. Khalil at first with 1 out, back to the top of the order, and Noah Myers. Myers takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Noah scored twice today. He has a home run, a double, and a walk. A stolen base added in there. Already his 4th at bat of the day here in the 5th. The 1-0 at the letters for his strike, 1-1. 5 runs, 3 RBIs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 home runs in the last 2 days for Myers. 1-1. Inside, gets by the catcher Richardson all the way back to the backstop, and Khalil will jog down to second without a throw as Richardson finally gets to it. Khalil in scoring position with 1 out, and a 2-1 count to Myers. It's been a special season for Noah. Started off really well with the Otters in May. Batting average dipped down a little bit in June. He was electric in the month of July, and he's carried that over here into August. And the biggest thing you really look at is Myers has improved his play on the road a lot. Started the season very slow on the road. Here's the 2-1 home. Outside, 3 balls to 1 strike. His home road splits were really, really lopsided. His batting average on the road was under 200 in late June. It's now at 280, and he's hit over half of his home runs now on the road. The 3-1 on the outside corner, a full count to Myers. 7 homers at home, now 8 on the road. It's also improved hitting against lefties, which is something Myers has struggled with early in the season. It just feels like he's become a complete professional baseball player over the course of this season. Payoff home, outside, ball 4. Second walk of the day for Myers. He still hasn't gotten out. It's 4 walks now for Noah on the series. And there's 2 on for the Otters with 1 out, and Gary Mattis comes to the plate. He is the only Otter yet to reach today, 0 for 3. Khalil at second, Myers at first. The Otters looking to add some more insurance here in the 5th inning as they lead 9-5. A first pitch strike at the knees to Mattis. Owen home from Puri. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mattis has a somewhat similar stance to Tristan Garcia of Florence. Gary's much taller, 5'11", 190, while Garcia for Florence just 5'5", 180. There's the 1-1 home from Puri. Slice left side and caught by Johnson down on a knee. Picks it up and everyone slides back to their bags. Pretty play by Ed Johnson. Jeremiah Burks, his middle infielder teammate, made a similar play last inning. Down to a knee, lunging over to make a nifty catch. Big second out in the inning for Puri and Florence as it brings up Kona Quiggle, who's 1 for 3 today with a base hit. Lefty batter to face the righty Puri. He winds home and Quiggle swings the first pitch and pops it up high into left center field. Zuber back at the track, circling under it and makes the catch along the wall. Quiggle just misses one, and for the first time today, the Otters go scoreless in an inning. They lead though 9-5, middle of the 5th on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the 5th inning from Florence, a 9-5 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. Another barn burner for a second straight night here from Thomas More Stadium, outside of the beautiful Queen City of Cincinnati. Lane Hoover leads off the bottom of the 5th for Florence. Lefty batter to face Justin Watland. It takes the first pitch strike at the knees. That's the 103rd pitch of the night for Justin Watland, but he's now gone longer than Bobby Braybrand, who only went 4 in his start for Florence. The 0-1 misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Watland did work a scoreless 4th inning, walked 2 batters, but didn't allow a hit. 1-1. A breaking ball misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters do have stretching in their bullpen. No one throwing just yet. Watland's season high 107 pitches thrown. Likely to pass that here in the 5th inning as the 2-1 misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. That's pitch number 106 there, so this next pitch will tie his season high. It's just the 4th time this year Watland's worked to 100 pitches. The 3-1 line to short and caught by George Khalil. A Little leap by Khalil at short, hit right to him and makes a nice grab for the first out of the inning. One away in the fifth. And back to the top of the order, Tristan Garcia, who's 2 for 2 with a walk today. Out of the windup, Watland fires home. A breaking ball on the inner third, called a strike. 9-5 Otters lead in the bottom of the fifth inning, trying to win the series. 0-1, chopped right side, a fair ball, played back on hop by Phillips, bobbles it, picks it back up, and steps on the second base bag for the second out. Do I dare say it? Will I jinx it? Probably, but right now, a quick 2 outs for Watland and a chance for a quick inning. Can't remember the last time we've seen that in the 3 games we've played here in Florence. 2 outs, nobody on for the lefty Hank Zeisler. Watland trying to complete 5. The first pitch home, a breaking ball at the knees, called a strike. 0-1 to Zeisler. Popped up high in the air, out down the right field line. First baseman Phillips jogging back in foul territory, called off by Austin Boast, and the second baseman makes the catch in the edge of foul territory. A 1-2-3 inning for Watland, needs just 8 pitches. And the Otters getting some quality pitching from the righty from Reno. After 5 innings played, the Otters in front 9-5 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Top 6 from Florence. 9-5 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls, going for their first road series victory in over a month. Evansville's 12 outs away from a much-needed series victory to start this 6-game road trip as they enter the final 3 weeks of the Frontier League season. Jeffrey Baez leads off in the top of the 6th for the Otters. Connor Puri's second inning, a work out of the Florence bullpen. Side armor comes home, and Baez swings and misses 0-1. Jeffrey had the first RBI of the day for the Otters, an RBI double down the left field line in the first inning. Also hit by a pitch in the 4th. He's having a fine series this week. 0-1, breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez 3 for 5 yesterday with 2 runs, and he now has 5 hits in this 3-game set. 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss on a slider, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sun is set. Baby blue sky darkening to a light navy blue hue. The lights mostly into full effect. It was raining at the start of the game, and then the skies opened up for some sunshine. Maybe a good omen for the Otters. 1-2. Another slider outside, but Baez holds up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters trying to win both road series here in Florence. Took the rubber match, also in a high-scoring game back in June. 2-2. Outside again and a full count. These teams will play one more time, 3 times in the month of August over a little over 3 weeks. They'll play a week from tomorrow. The Otters' final home series at Bosse Field. The 3-2 inside, and it hits Baez. On the back again, it hit him up in the shoulder blades. Last at bat, it would have been ball four anyways, but couldn't get out of the way of it. And Baez has been hit by a pitch twice tonight. Leadoff batter aboard here in the sixth as it brings up Dakota Phillips, who's 2 for 3 today, a double in the second, home run in the third. Burry at 25 pitches worked a scoreless fifth, the first time the Otters hadn't scored in a half inning, but the Florence bullpen is on life support at this point. And the Otters just battering the Y'alls for runs after runs. First pitch home to Dak, a strike on the outside corner. Otters have scored a combined 20 runs over the last 2 games, 24 total runs now in the series. Scored a series-high runs in their first series here in Florence as the 0-1 misses outside for a ball 1-1. The Otters 31 runs against Florence back in late June to win that series. Didn't score for the first 6 innings on Tuesday night, and since then, it's been hit after hit. Baez takes off, pitch sails high. Baez head first slide into second, ball rolls into center field. Picked up in center by Zuber, will throw to third. Baez's head first slide into third is in time, and Baez goes first to third. In scoring position with still nobody out. It's Jeffrey's 14th stolen base of the season. The big man, yeah, he can run. Looks can be deceiving sometimes, and a little extra effort to go down to third base and the throw that skipped by the shortstop Johnson. He's at third with still nobody out. 2-1 to Dak. Misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. 9-5, the Otters lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Puri home. Phillips pops it up down the left field line and out of play. Time for a check of the Frontier League scoreboard, brought to you by WJPS 107.1. The Otters continue scoreboard watching the 2 teams above them in the Frontier League West. Gateway trying to avoid the sweep tonight at Washington. 3-2. Phillips swings, drives one into right. Back at the wall, Zuber, and this ball is off the wall. Bouncing off the wall, whistling into second is Baez. Another double for Dak. Bouncing off the top half of the right field wall. It's the 3rd extra base hit of the day for Phillips. 2 doubles, a home run, another RBI for the Otters All-Star. What a week for Dakota Phillips. 7 hits for Dak. He is red hot at the plate. The Otters add another run in the 6th. Yomar Reyes swings at the first pitch, fouls it down the first base line. Racing over is DeNicola, and he makes the catch in front of the Florence bullpen. There's the first out of the inning. The RBI double by Dakota Phillips, though, off the right field wall. Extends the lead for the Otters. It's now 10-5, back-to-back nights with double-digit runs for Evansville. Otters now have 6 doubles today. They had 5 in the first 2 innings, including 4 in a 4-run second. 6 total doubles today. Dak has 2 of them. 28 doubles on the season for Phillips, which leads the Otters. As Austin Bose takes a first pitch strike. Phillips, Myers, and Baez, the heart of the Otters batters. Red hot. Oh, a swinging broken bat grounder left side is picked up by the shortstop Johnson, and no play. Bose is going to be safe at first. Wow. The whole top half, really top 3/4 of the bat went shattering and flew with Johnson at short, who had to get out of the way of the bat before he picked up the very slow roller with the broken bat. And Bose easily reaching down the line on the broken bat infield base hit. 13th hit of the inning. Phillips at third, advancing on the infield base hit, and Bose to first. Now, by the time Johnson picked it up on the infield turf, Bose was already at first. Pick off throw back to first. Bose gets back in safely. Runners on the corners, 1 out for Justin Felix, 0 for 2 with the walk. Puri sets and delivers. Inside of Felix, 1-0. So a 10-5 lead for the Otters in the top of the 6th. Runners on the corners with 1 out. The Otters scored in 5 of 6 innings today, looking for even more here in the 6th to build a little bit more insurance. Puri steps off again, pickoff throw back to first, and Bose again dives back in safely. Both disengagements used by Puri. Bose can take a very big lead at first now. 1-0 to Felix on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. So back to the Frontier League scoreboard. Otters 5 games back of first place Gateway. Grizzlies trying to avoid the sweep at Washington. They lead the Wild Things 2-1 right now in the top of the 5th from Wild Things Ballpark. The Otters will be there tomorrow night. 1-1. Popped up off the end of the bat by Felix into shallow right field. Coming in is Zeisler under the ball and makes the catch. Phillips will tag from third. Here comes the throw home. It's wide of home plate off the mid of Richardson and back to the backstop. Phillips scores and Bose will advance to seconds. It's the 3rd run of the night for Dakota Phillips. 2 across in the 6th. 11-5 lead for Evansville. Felix hitting it deep enough, and not a good throw from Zeisler was well wide of the home plate, and Richardson couldn't even bring it in. So Post in scoring position at seconds. George Khalil, who's 3 for 3 today, comes to the plate. 2 singles and a double for the Australian shortstop. Pitch home. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Schaumburg set to play a rubber match against Lake Erie. They are still in a weather delay, though, up in Avon, Ohio. They got actually just started. They're starting after 8:30 up outside of Cleveland. The 0-1 grounded left side. Diving third baseman Fuentes off his glove. Johnson fields at the shortstop, but there's no play, and Khalil saved it first on an infield base hit. In between Fuentes and Johnson, the third baseman at shortstop, right off the edge of the glove of Fuentes. Johnson dove to keep it on the infield and likely saving a run from Bose scoring. But Khalil safe at first. It's the 4th hit of the night for George Khalil. 4 for 4. What a night. Bose at third, Khalil at first. Back to the top of the order and Noah Myers. First pitch inside. Good stop by Richardson. Noah has scored twice. He's 2 for 2 with 2 walks. His 5th at bat already of the day here in the 7th. Puri nods. And the 1-0. Lofted foul out of play, 1-1. 11 runs on 14 hits and 2 errors for Evansville. 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for Florence. One inside, and Richardson another good stop. 2 balls and 1 strike. Not much more you can say about this Otters offense. They've been special over the last 2 days here from Thomas More Stadium. Just a matter of they can carry that into the weekend against a better Wild Things pitching staff. 2-1, slice right side through the 4-3 hole and down the right field line. Bose will walk home. It rolls all the way to the wall. Myers hustling around second will hold there as the pitch comes home, and sliding in safely is Khalil. Head first slide beats the tag by Richardson. It's a 2 RBI double for Noah Myers. The hits keep on coming for the Otters as Myers slams one through the 4-3 hole. It rolled past Zeisler and all the way to the wall. Bose scoring easily, and Khalil hustling from first all the way around to home, and a head-first slide just under the tag. 3 extra base hits for Noah Myers, 2 doubles, a home run, 2 walks, and he's yet to get out today as Carl Craigie's out to talk with Puri on the bump. 4 across in the inning for the Otters. It's a 13-5 lead. What a night for Evansville. And it's now 7 hits, 7 doubles, I believe, for the Otters. It's starting to lose track. Otters had 4 doubles back in the second inning, 1 in the first to make it 5. They've added 2 more here in the 6th. Yep, that's 7. Gary Mattis swings the first pitch and fouls it away. The Otters tied a franchise record of 8 doubles in the series rubber match back in June here in Florence, and they're a double away from doing so here this evening. Another series rubber match from Florence. Myers at second, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 8-run lead for the Otters in the top of the 6th, closing in on their first road series victory in over a month. 0-2 home. Outside, Bell bounces away from Richardson and back to the backstop, and Myers jogs down to third. Noah trying to score his 3rd run of the game for back-to-back nights. Continuing to march his way up the Frontier League leaderboard for most runs scored. He has 71 runs on the season, then entered the night 4th most in the Frontier League. He's marching up the Otters record books as well. 1-2. Mattis chops third baseline foul. 83 runs scored in a season is the most in a single season in Otters history. Josh Allen did it back in 2017. That was only 12 runs away from tying Josh Allen's record. And with plenty of games left to play, the 1-2 chop left side under the glove of the shortstop Johnson into left field, and Myers will walk home to score the 5th run of the 6th. It's 14-5. 6 hits, 6 runs in the series for Myers. He's up to 72 runs on the season. And look out, Josh Allen. Myers could make a name for himself atop the Otters record books. First hit of the day for Gary Mattis. RBI base hit as it brings up Kona Quiggle, the 9th batter of the inning. It takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. They say hitting is contagious. It's been that and then some. A full-on pandemic of offense, you could say, tonight by the Otters. The pitch misses low. Check swing by Quiggle, who went around 0-2. "14 runs for the Otters, 16 hits now, which ties the season best. Oh, 2 home. Swing and a miss, and that should end it. Richardson picks it up, tosses to first, and finally ends the 6th inning. The Otters send all 9 batters to the plate in the 6th. They score 5 runs, 2 more doubles, 3 singles, and 5 more runs. It's all Otters. Middle of the 6th, Evansville 14, Florence 5 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the sixth inning from Thomas More Stadium. It's all Otters tonight. They've pounded Florence for 14 runs on 16 hits and lead 14-5. Justin Watland is going to continue to work for Evansville. A season high now, 111 pitches. As he fires the first pitch, striking to Brian Fuentes. The 0-1 swung on and missed. 0-2 to Fuentes. 5 runs in the sixth inning, blowing the game open for the Otters. Justin Watland trying to put up his third straight scoreless inning on the board for Evansville. 0-2, chopped right back up the middle. Good glove by Watland to field it. A underhand toss to first. One away in the sixth. If you have a group of friends or coworkers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. The Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch the game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. One out, nobody on for Zade Richardson. Watland comes home and fires the first pitch strike at the knees. Now, this is a really long outing for Watland, but he's finally found a rhythm. Here's the 0-1. Misses low and goes through the knees of Felix back to the backstop, 1-1. He's found a rhythm, and with such a big lead for the Otters at this point, they want to get as much rest for the bullpen as possible with a big weekend series coming up at Washington. 1-1, chopped foul off the end of the bat, 1-2. Now, as long as Watland is healthy and comfortable and getting enough outs, they're going to leave him out here on the mound to just eat up a few more innings. 1-2, breaking ball, just missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's not necessarily an enviable task, but could be a big win for the Otters this week. The more outs Watland gets tonight. The 2-2, chopped foul and off the front of the foot of Richardson. We'll have 2 runs in the second and then 3 in the third, but back-to-back half innings with goose eggs on the scoreboard, and boy, have the Otters offered some run support. 1 in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 5 in the sixth. And the Otters just battering the Y'alls tonight. 11 runs last night, 14 tonight for Evansville. Two-two home. Chop foul left side and bouncing into the seats. Well, you might be wondering, Otters, this is their 9th game against Florence. They're playing the Y'alls. What is a Y'all? I certainly wondered myself when found out the Otters would playing a team called the Florence Y'Alls. Originally, Florence as a franchise started as the Florence Freedom. Here's the 2-2. Popped up by Richardson. High into the sky into shallow center. 3 gray jerseys converge. Running in is Quiggle, the center fielder, and makes the jogging catch for the second out. Justin Watland, all of a sudden, has retired last 6 straight batters. You don't typically find your rhythm when you cross the 100-pitch threshold, but that's what's happening here tonight for Watland. For some shaky innings and struggles with command, he has silenced the Y'alls' bats. 2 outs, nobody on for Ray Zuberer. Takes a pitch low for a ball. So the Y'alls rebranded in 2020. Changing their name from the Florence Freedom. The 1-0 misses low, 2-0. It's an homage to the Florence Y'all water tower that sits right down the highway here from Thomas More Stadium. You can actually see it from the field. It was originally constructed back in the 1980s to say Florence Mall. 2-0. Misses low again. 3 balls and no strikes. But due to legal issues, the mall wasn't built. They weren't allowed to advertise for something that wasn't yet there on an interstate. Here comes the 3-1 home to Zuberer. Inside ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk to Zuberer is aboard. 1-0 with 2 outs here in the 6th as the Otters lead 14-5. So the mayor of Florence met with the mall owners and everyone involved with the water tower and wrote it down on a paper napkin. He sketched out his design. You know, what is the cheapest way to get this fixed? He found you have an M there. His first pitch to Nicola, a strike at the knees. You could add a little tail to the bottom and add an apostrophe, and instead of saying Florence Mall, it says Florence Y'all. A way to welcome travelers into the South in the state of Kentucky. DeNicola fouls one off the screen, 0-2. And it's been there ever since, and it's gained a lot of popularity. Even when the mall opened, they found it was actually very good advertising for the mall. It became a regionally famous Florence Y'all water tower. The name is stuck, and now the baseball team named after it. The 0-2 grounded right side, gloved by Boast, collects, tosses to first in time for the out, and retires the side in the 6th. What great work by Justin Watlin. He's worked 3 scoreless innings, and after 6 played, it's all Evansville, 14-5 on the Otters Digital Network. Six innings of baseball complete from Florence, and it's an Otters party tonight here in Northern Kentucky. They lead the Y'alls 14-5. 9 outs away from their first road series victory in over a month. The Otters have scored 25 runs over the last 2 games, just decimating this Florence pitching staff. Jeffrey Baez will lead off in the top of the 7th. New pitcher for Florence is the lefty Kent Kleinman. He comes home, and Baez sprays it foul right side. Big lefty Kleinman making his 25th appearance of the season. 31 innings pitched, 4.35 ERA. Working on the far left side of the rubber with some Adidas red cleats. Sets at the chest, and the 0-1 to Baez. Chopped foul left side, charging in the third baseman Fuentes to field it. Throw to first in time to beat Baez. 1 out. Well, I don't know how they know this at Florence, but they're playing Dakota Phillips' walk-up song as he comes up to the plate. This is incredible. Waka Flocka. Grove Street Party, Dakota Phillips walk-up song. He's so hot that Florence is playing his walk-up song. 3 for 4, 2 doubles and a home run for Phillips, and he was bopping as he came up to the plate. He sprays one left side behind the third base flag. Gloved by Fuentes, throw nowhere near in time. It's a 4-hit day for Dakota Phillips. It's all going together tonight for Dak. And you know when Grove Street Party's playing over the loudspeakers, it's only going to get better for Dakota Phillips. He was dancing going up to the plate, and he's dancing over at first base on his 4th hit of the day. Just a softly hit ball behind the third base bag, hit at the right spot. And Fuentes throw to first, never had a chance. So 1 out, and it brings up Yomar Reyes, the third baseman, swings the third pitch. What a play by Fuentes to glove it, toss to second, back to first. Double play, my goodness. 5-4-3 double play, and one of the better ones you'll see in pro baseball all week. Fuentes down to a knee to glove a hot shot, and Burks turning it at second. Phillips is 4th hit of the day, and we'll stretch here in Florence. It's 14-5 Otters over the Y'alls on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Bottom 7 from Thomas More Stadium. 14-5 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. Connor Clucky is the new pitcher in for the Otters. First arm out of the bullpen. The lefty fires wide of home for a first pitch ball to Jeremiah Burks. Southpaw Clucky making his 26th appearance of the season. 4.75 ERA and 36 innings pitched. Lefty delivers outside 2-0 to Burks. 45 strikeouts on 19 walks for the Southpaw. Opportunity here for Clucky to try to find some rhythm. Pitched on Thursday and allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. Pitch show misses low. 3-0 to Burks. Clucky's allowed runs in his last 3 outings. He's had some couple weeks where he's looked really down, and then had some other weeks where he's gotten hit around a little bit. Pitch sails at the top of the zone for a called strike 1, and it's a 3-1 count to Burks. Clucky delivers outside, and a leadoff walk to Burks in the bottom of the 7th. No, it certainly wasn't how Justin Watland wanted to start his day, but you have to give a lot of credit to the Otters starting pitcher tonight. He allowed 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. The command really was not there at all early. The Y'alls cut the lead to 1 after the 3rd inning, and then the Otters offense exploding for 3 more in the 4th, 5 in the 6th. Clucky comes home to the righty Johnson. Ball goes through the legs of Felix beyond home plate, and Burks will jog down to second safely. Wallen, after that 3rd inning, really settled in. He allowed over the last 3 innings pitched no hits, just 3 walks, just 1 base runner in scoring position. He'll be in line for the win. 6 innings pitched, just 3 earned runs. It's actually going to go down as a quality start. crazy as that is, Johnson lays down a bunt but fouls it right side. Only 3 of the 5 runs Watland allowed earned. He completes 6 innings. It's going to be a quality start for the righty from Reno. Be his 4th quality start of the year. He walked 8 batters with 4 strikeouts. Not sure anyone ever has had 8 walks and still earned a quality start, but you know, you got to give credit to the mental resolve of Justin Watland to work through some issues tonight and give the Otters some quality innings. And now they're going to call a balk on Clucky. And Burks is going to go down to third. 1-1 count, and Clucky pausing before stepping off, and then going back to the windup. Called by the first base umpire, Ben Levin. 1-1, misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Johnson. Burks is at third. Otters lead 14-5 here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 home. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. 14 runs on a season best 17 hits today for the Otters. The most hits in any game this season. Y'all's 5 runs on 6 hits. 3-1. Fouled right side and a full count to Johnson. The Otters hoping Clucky can probably pitch these last 3 innings for the Otters. And the rest of Evansville's bullpen can have the day off and be well rested going into the big series against the Washington Wild Things this weekend in Western PA. Johnson chops one right side. Phillips over to glove it. He'll toss to Clucky, who races over and steps on the bag for the first out. Burks will score from third. And the Y'alls have their 7th run of the game, but they still trail by 8. First Y'alls run since the 3rd inning. Good job, too, by Clucky going over to cover the first base bag. It's been something Otters pitchers and first basemen have been working on. The communication there and getting off the mound quickly to cover the bag on grounders to the right side. 1 away, bases cleared for the left fielder Lane Hoover. Clucky delivers home, and Hoover takes a strike 0-1. 14-6 Otters lead in the bottom of the 7th. It's been a smaller crowd on what started as a rainy evening here at Thomas More Stadium, and many fans have filtered out now. 0-1, at the knees, a strike 0-2. There's a bachelor party here tonight at the ball game. They're in some of the suites to the left of the press box. A bachelor party at a Frontier League game. It's a new one. The 0-2 chopped up the middle. Khalil somehow able to glove it. His toss to first will not be in time. An infield base hit for Hoover. Khalil off balance lands all the way out in center field with his forward momentum. Somehow gloved that ball up the middle, the edge of his glove. But an off-balance throw took a while to get to Phillips. An infield base hit for Hoover. He's at first with 1 out. Back to the top of the order in Tristan Garcia. First pitch to Garcia, and it plunks him on the back. Breaking ball inside, hit Garcia on the back. So now there's 2 on for Florence. Hoover at second, Garcia at first with 1 out. And Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, have to have a word with Hunter Clucky. Gives us the time to remind you that for landscape design that is truly unique, you should always look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. Have a project in mind? Find us on Instagram at wildspaces.com. 2-1, 1 out here in the 7th. Y'alls have 1 run across, but the Otters lead 14-6. Clucky home, fastball wide, 1-0. Clucky out of the stretch, delivers home. It's high, 2 balls and no strikes to Zeisler. 2 on, 1 out. Y'alls are going to need quite an offensive effort here to try to win this series. Otters 8 outs away from their first road series win in over a month. Just be their 2nd time all season winning back-to-back games on the road in one series. or the third time, I should say. Second time to finish a series, 2-1 into Zeisler, but there's only 4 times all year, even between 2 series, where the Otters have won back-to-back road games. Otters have struggled so much on the road, lost 12 of their last 17 on the road, and just 15-20 this year. 2-1. At the knee is a strike, 2-2, but if they can close out the win tonight, the Otters are going to finish playing here at Thomas More Stadium 4-2. That'll mean a quarter of the Otters' road wins will be here in Florence. 2-2 from Clucky. On the outside corner, check swing by Zeisler, but he held up in a full count. Otters will head to Washington this weekend. It'll be the Otters' only trip to face the Wild Things. Otters lost both series to Washington at Bosse Field, including last weekend. The Otters won the series finale 1-0 to avoid a sweep. Payoff home, swing and a miss. Fastball up by Clucky for his first German-American bank strikeout, and there's 2 outs in the 7th. Over still at second, Garcia at first. Brian Fuentes, third baseman, comes to the plate for Florence. Wild Things still trailing the Grizzlies 2-1, top 7 in Washington. They've gone under another weather delay in Avon, Ohio. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a long night there as Brian Fuentes takes the first pitch strike. 2-0 lead for Schaumburg in the bottom of the second against Lake Erie. The rubber match of that series. Schaumburg already had 1 game taken away from them this season. They're only going to play 95. Being the last game of the series, they're going to do everything they can to get in that game with the Crushers as Fuentes swings and misses 0-2. That is going to be a late night bus ride, though, for the Boomers. Schaumburg will be headed back to Chicago, but they're going to play Windy City tomorrow. Not any fun, as I can tell you from experiences. Those long bus rides. The Otters are only going to have a 4-hour trip to Washington. 0-2 from Clucky. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Some other scores across the scoreboard. Windy City leads Joliet 3-0 in the top of the 6th. Otters would love a little more help from the Thunderbolts. Windy City could take that series from Joliet. 1-2 to Fuentes. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quebec and Tri-City playing in a key series decider up north across the border. 8-5 lead for Quebec over Tri-City in the top of the 7th. How about the New Jersey Jackals? They're going to sweep Ottawa. They lead the Titans 17-2 in the bottom of the 7th. I think the Otters have scored a lot as Fuentes fouls went off. The Jackals have scored 2 touchdowns and added a field goal as we near football season. Jackals are going to complete a sweep, and they're staying right on the heels of Quebec for first place in the East. It's a really interesting race. Jersey a game back of Quebec for first place in the East. Here's the 2-2 home, outside no full count. New York and Empire State split a doubleheader. Grays won 4-2. The first game, New York wins 2-0 in the second game of the doubleheader in Pomona. Boulder still holding out hope to sneak into the playoffs in the East. Payoff home is ripped into left field. Myers racing back. It's outside of his glove reach and rolling to the wall. 1 run will score. Hustling around from second is Garcia. Here's the relay home, not in time. Head first slide in safely for Garcia. It's a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Brian Fuentes. 3 runs across here in the 7th for the Y'alls, and they trim the lead down to 6. Three across here in the 7th for Florence. Still a comfortable lead for the Otters, but 3 in the 7th. Brings up Zade Richardson, the Y'alls catcher, with Fuentes at second. Clucky trying to finish off this 7th here for the Otters. Evansville doesn't have an arm warming in their pen. Clucky home, and Richardson grounds it foul. 14-8 the Otters lead. Ends an Otters streak of 8 unanswered runs scored as Florence has scored 3 here in the 7th. 14 runs on 17 hits for the Otters and 2 errors. 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors for Florence. 0-1 from Clucky, breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Richardson. Clucky and the Otters just looking for the last out here in the 7th and keep a comfortable lead intact going to the 8th. Pitch home from the southpaw. Breaking ball is high, 2-1. One last score on the WJPS 107.1 out-of-town scoreboard. Sussex County leads Trois-Rivières 7-2. Miners going in for a sweep of the Eagles, and just like New York, holding out hope to sneak into the last spot in the East playoffs. 2-1 home. Fouled right side, now to play 2-2. Out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by WJPS 107.1. Tune in every Monday through Friday for the Otters Daily Update on WJPS with our very own Zane Clodfelter. Clucky a strike away from escaping the 7th without any more damage. At the belt, kicks and delivers. High in a full count to Richardson. Payoff from Clucky. Popped up by Richardson, high in the sky in shallow right field. Coming in is Jeffrey Baez under the baseball, makes the catch to retire the side in the 7th. 3 runs come across for Florence, but it's still a comfortable Otters lead after 7 innings complete. It's Evansville 14, Florence 8 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Eighth inning from Florence, 14-8 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. An offensive explosion for a second straight night for the Otters. A season high 17 hits this evening to the tune of 14 runs, 7 doubles by the Otters to go with 2 homers, capping off the effort. Austin Bose leads off in the 8th for the Otters. Ken Kleiman, the lefty, out for his second full inning of work. Bose has a 2-hit day. He's 2 for 4 today with a run. Pitch home from Kleiman. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Just a 4-hour trip for the Otters to Washington after this. Now, some of you might be listening and say, well, 4 hours on a bus, that sounds like a long time to me, but the Otters, all the 12-hour bus rides they had back in July, 4 hours is a throw in the bucket. 2-0 outside, 3 balls and no strikes to Boast. Otters will get into Washington around 3 a.m. Washington is about 30 minutes west of Pittsburgh along I-80. Get some sleep, and then a 7 o'clock Eastern time first pitch tomorrow night. 3-0, high for ball 4, and a walk to Boast. Otters have scored in 6 of the first, or make it 5 of the first 7 innings today. They've had a runner reach in every inning. Boast leads off with a walk, and it brings up Justin Felix, the catcher. He's 0 for 3, but walked and scored in the second. George Khalil, who's coming up, he's going to go for his 5th hit of the day. As Felix takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. If Khalil can get his 5th hit, he would tie the second most hits for any Otters player in franchise history in 28 years of Otters baseball. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Earlier this season, Khalil scored 5 runs in a game, which was tied for the second most runs in Otters history. That's the guy you'd least expect to do so. George having sneaky big nights. Boast takes off on a pitch low for a ball and slides in feet first safely to second before attacked by Burks. Easy stolen base for Boast. That is stolen base number 3 for the Otters tonight. And it's the first of the young career for Boast. He's at second, 1-2 count to Felix. Otters lead 14-8. Kleiman home. Swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes, 1 away. So here comes George Khalil, a chance for a little bit of history. A hit here, and he ties the second most hits in a single Otters game in 28 years of Evansville Otters baseball history. Jeff Goldbach has the record. He had 6 hits in a 2005 game against River City. Khalil goes for hit number 5 here. He has 3 singles and a double. Kleiman at the belt, delivers home, outside 1-0. Khalil scored 3 times. This is all out of the 9th spot in the Otters lineup. Home. Lined left side, a hopper right to the shortstop. Johnson, he collects, tosses to first in time for the second out. And no history tonight for Khalil. He's retired 2 away. Boast stays at second, back to the top of the order, and Noah Myers, who's looking for his 4th hit of the day. Noah still hasn't gotten out. He has 2 walks, 2 doubles, and a home run. A remarkable night for the Canadian, Tilbury, Ontario, outside of Windsor and Detroit. Comes home. Half swing and a miss by Myers, 0-1. There were some Canadian fans in attendance yesterday, and they said hi to Myers after the game. Oh, I really enjoyed that. A 1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Myers. Back-to-back days with 3 runs for Myers, 6 runs on the series. Total of 4 hits. He has 4 walks as well. 1-1. Bounces in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 1 strike to Myers. I don't know if there's a more steady guy on the Otters team. A lot of guys play with emotion on their sleeve. And Myers is an outgoing personality, but he's just always at the same wavelength. It's always just a positive, never bouncing off the walls, but just a positive, confident mentality. 2-1, grounded right side, fair ball down the line and bouncing off the side of the wall. Boast will score. Myers hustling to second. Here comes the throw. Not in time. It skips past the Johnson at short and all the way to the third base bag. Noah Myers, a 4-hit day, and his 3rd double ties a single-game record in Otters history. 3 doubles in a game. It's tied for the most ever doubles for an Otters player in 28 years of Otters baseball. Dakota Phillips had 3 doubles for the Otters here in Florence to tie that record in June, and Myers does it on this drizzly Thursday night. 3 doubles and a home run. What a night. Rocked one down the right field line, right over the back, past the glove of DeNicola at first, and hit off the jutting out wall down the right field line. Gary Mattis fouls the first pitch away. It's also the 8th double of the game for the Otters, and that ties. Here comes the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 8 doubles ties the most doubles for the Otters in franchise history in one game. Also tying what the Otters did in that Sunday series finale against Florence in late June. Done it a few different games now in franchise history. 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So a few notes going to the history books tonight here at Thomas More. 18 hits for the Otters and 15 runs. They're a run away from tying their most runs on the season. They scored 16 against Ottawa back in May. Most hits on the year, the 2-1 inside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Mattis. 8 doubles, 2 home runs as well. So 10 total extra base hits, 10 of their 18 hits going for extra bases. (3-1) to Mattis. Lined into center field. This ball is past the glove of Zuber and going all the way back to the wall. Myers will score. Mattis hustling around second, will head to third. He might have a chance here. He's waved around. Here comes the throw home. Mattis sliding in. He is out. Great rally by the Y'alls, and Mattis is inside the park home run, falls half a second short. Bounced under the glove of Zuber, rolled all the way to the wall. I think it was Zeisler and Wright who eventually picked up the ball, and a throw on the money to home to get Gary Mattis out and end the inning. The Otters tie a franchise record, though, with their 8th double, and Noah Myers tying a franchise record with his 3rd double in the game. The Otters have doubled up the Y'alls. They lead 16-8, so go to the bottom of the 8th on the Otters Digital Network. What a night to remember here in Florence. 16 runs, 19 hits for the Otters. They lead 16-8 here from Florence. The night was almost topped off with an inside the park home run for Gary Mattis, but a great job by the Y'alls. Throw in, throw out, Mattis at the plate. Bang, bang call. Ray Zuber leads off in the bottom of the 8th for Florence. And new pitcher into the ballgame, Leone De La Cruz, the lefty all-star, getting some work here in the 8th for the Otters. De La Cruz making his 34th appearance of the season, 2.55 ERA and 35 1/3 innings pitched. So just 10 earned on the season. A strike at the knees to Zuber, 1-1. 8 doubles on the day for the Otters. It's tied a franchise record in a single game. 3 doubles by Noah Myers has tied a player single game record. Pitch home. It's a strike at the knees. 1-2. 16-8 Otters. Added 2 more in the 8th. Gary Mattis thrown out at the plate, but Myers scoring on that ball that skipped past the glove of Zuber in center and rolled all the way to the wall. Because it didn't touch anyone's glove, it would have been considered an inside the park home run. 1-2, really softly chopped down the line. Picked up by De La Cruz, spins around to first, not in time. Zuber is safe. So Myers scoring. It's his 4th run of the game. For Mattis, was credited with the triple and then thrown out at the plate. That was how that 8th inning ended. Just some housekeeping there. 2 runs in the 8th for the Otters to make it 16-8. Zuber getting an infield base hit to lead off here in the 8th inning. So it brings up Harrison DeNicola, the first baseman. So the only second outing of the series as the first pitch strikes into DeNicola 0-1. He needed just 9 pitches, though, last night, or 2 nights ago, make it. An inning pitch allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs across. About to pass the 3-hour mark for the second time of 3 games in this series. 0-1. At the letters, a strike 0-2. 16 runs tonight for the Otters, 11 last night. So that is 27 runs over the last 2 games. He had 6 more. That's 33 combined runs by the Otters in this series, and that is a new season best. 0-2 is fouled off the screen. Otters' season best was 31 against Florence, also here at Thomas More Stadium. They've topped that with 33, and much of it carried over the last 2 games. 11 last night, 16 tonight. DeNicola fouled one off the screen. Still an 0-2 count. Southpaw at the belt delivers home. Runner takes off. DeNicola pops up a flare into shallow center. Racing in his Quiggle. Sliding catch made by the center fielder. A diving play by Kona Quiggle in center. An 8-run ball game, but Kona still going 100% for the first out of the inning. The Otters have shown off in a variety of factors tonight. Zuber had to race back to first base to avoid getting doubled up. Quiggle's made a couple of those just beautiful diving plays in center field. He's got great instincts, great athleticism. A big frame as well, 6'2", 200 pounds, full extension to take that ball off the turf. Jeremiah Burks comes up. He has 3 walks today and hasn't gotten out. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Zuber at first, 1 out in the 8th, a 16-8 lead for the Otters. De La Cruz home. Pitch on the inside corner, a strike 1-1. So they do a trivia question every night here at Thomas More Stadium. It was an interesting one this evening, asking how much does the average American spend per year on beer? 1-1. At the knees for a strike, 1-2. If you're listening on the Otters Digital Network and you want to give a gander at it, feel free to drop your guess without looking it up, of course, in the Otters Digital Network group chat. And if you get close, you might get your name mentioned on the air. So I'll give you the next half inning or so to put in a guess. The 1-2 misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. How much does the average American spend on beer per the year? Just beer, not other forms of alcohol. That was the trivia question here at the ball game today. I was surprised by the total. The 2-2 is lofted into left field. Right at Noah Myers, reaches up the glove and makes the catch for the second out. Two-way Zuber at first. It brings up the shortstop, Ed Johnson. $16 runs tonight by the Otters, 33 in the series. Otters have scored in 6 of 8 innings this evening after doing it in 7 of 9 last night. First pitch strike into Johnson. It's just a matter of can you now carry over this offense into the big weekend series against Washington. Otters did that in their last series against Florence. The 0-1's at the letters for a strike, 0-2. Had a really good series they played against Gateway after they left Florence, took the opener, lost the middle game, but blew a late lead and lost in extra innings. And then had that last road series win at Joliet. 0-2, inside corner, ring him up. Strike 3 called. Johnson left looking and a backwards K for De La Cruz to retire the side in the 8th inning. 1 hit, 1 left, stranded, no runs after 8 innings complete. It's Evansville 16, Florence 8 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. To the ninth here from Thomas More Stadium, a 16-8 lead for the Otters over the Y'alls. A historic night for Evansville offensively. 19 hits put together. They've tied the single game record with 8 doubles in a ball game. Noah Myers, 3 doubles, has tied the single player record. It's been a all-around special night. Kona Quiggle leads off the ninth. Took a first pitch outside. He takes the second pitch outside. 2-0 from the new righty Brian McKenna into the ball game for Florence. Still one last inning to try to get another double and make it 9 as the 2-0s fouled off the screen, 2-1. The Otters have 11 total extra base hits today. 8 doubles, 2 home runs, and a triple by Gary Mattis, nearly an inside-the-park home run. He was thrown out at the plate. Myers has scored 4 runs. Dakota Phillips has had 4 hits and 3 runs. George Khalil, 4 hits. Up and down the lineup, everyone's contributed. 2-1 is fouled away, 2-2. The Otters' single game record for both runs and hits, they're not going to reach that. I'm not sure it's possible to be reached. They scored 28 runs against River City back in 2005 on 27 hits. 28 runs on 27 hits in one game. That's not even baseball anymore. I don't know what that is. There had to be something going on, I imagine, in that game. Someone must have a story about that night at Bosse. The 2-2. Check swing by Quiggle on a ball high. Appeal down to 30, held up in a full count. And a lot of the player records are from that night. Jeff Goldbach had 6 hits and scored 6 times in that game. Legendary Otters player. He holds a lot of Otters records, including the single game records for hits and runs. Payoff is popped up left side and hooking out a play. Every Otter in the lineup except for Mattis has a run today, and 8 of 9 Otters have a hit. Payoff foam, fouled off the screen, and Quiggle stays alive. Gateway still holding on to a 2-1 lead over Washington. They're on the top of the 8th now in Washington, Pennsylvania. Big game for both teams. Grizzlies first place in the standings. Washington 5.5 back of the Otters, chasing them for that third and final playoff spot. Payoff home. Quiggle swings and lines one into left center field. Cutting it off in the gap is Zuberer, and Quiggle will hold it first, a leadoff hit. Not for a second off the bat, maybe a chance to roll to the wall and give the Otters the record 9th double. But the Otters will take their 20th hit of the game. 20 hits. And if they want to string together 7 more hits and tie the record, they've got a shot, but that might just be mean at that point. Jeffrey Baez to the plate as he swings at the first pitch and pops it up into left field. Coming in is Hoover, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Well, we mentioned George Khalil came up with 4 hits, trying to get his 5th hit and tie the second most hits in an Otters single game. Dakota Phillips has a chance here. 4 for 5 today, 2 doubles, a home run, and a base hit. He's also a triple away from the cycle. A few opportunities here for Phillips to do something special. With 1 on and 1 out. He's already done something very special today, but going to a couple more record books. Phillips takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner. He already has his 250th career pro hit that came back on his 413-foot solo home run in the 3rd inning. It's now up to 252 on a 4-hit night. 0-2. Lined into left center field, racing over. Zuber sliding. Oh, did he make the catch? No, the ball's on the ground, and Phillips is safe at first. Off the edge of the glove of Zuber, and Dakota Phillips is into the record books. His 5th hit of the night ties the 2nd most for an Otters player in single-game franchise history. Zuber nearly robbed him of history with a diving catch. He did a somersault but couldn't hold on to the baseball. It's hit number 21 for the Otters, hit number 5 for Phillips, and he is immortalized in Otters history. Only Jeff Goldbach, those 6 hits against River City, has more than Phillips and a few other Otters in franchise history. 5 hits in a game, 1 a night. Reyes swings and misses at the first pitch he sees from McKenna. There's 2 on with 1 out. 21 hits on the scoreboard. It just looks ridiculous. 0-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner. 0-2. Double in the second, home run in the third, double in the sixth, single in the seventh, single in the ninth. 5 for 6 for Dakota Phillips. 0-2 from McKenna. Reyes grounds down the left line, a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Quiggle hustling around from third. Reyes will hold it second, and there's the record. 9 doubles in the game. The Otters have set a new franchise record for the most doubles in a single game in Otters history. Yomar Reyes with his second double of the night makes it 17-8. 9 doubles for the Otters. My, oh my. And Otters offense without mercy tonight and into the record books. Austin Bose stands in and takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Wiggle around to score. Phillips is at third. Reyes is at second. Bose is looking for his third hit of the day. He's 2 for 4. 1-0. Bose grounds left side, backhanded by the third baseman Fuentes. Throw to first in time. Nice play for the second out. Phillips comes home to score. It's run number 18 for the Otters and run number 4 of the day for Dak. 2 in the 9th. The Otters 18 runs on 22 hits tonight. They've scored in all but 2 innings, 7 of 9 innings, and a historic night with 9 doubles in a game, breaking an Otters single game record. McKenna home. Pitch misses inside, 1-0. 22 hits tonight. We'll have to comb through the record books, but this has to be up there for the Otters. 27 hits, the most in a single game. This has to be, you'd think, of the top 5 for an Otters game in franchise history, as Felix takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. 9 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 22 total hits. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. I mean, a lot of teams at Frontier League, they break a record. They've only been around 5-6 years, maybe 10 years. The Otters have been around 28 seasons. They're the longest tenured franchise in the Frontier League. When they break a record, it's a big deal. That's a lot of baseball played. 1-2, swing and a miss, and Felix down on strikes to end the inning. 2 more in the 9th in history. Yomar Reyes, a double down the left field line, gives the Otters their 9th double of the night and sets a new franchise record for most doubles in a game. We head to the bottom of the 9th. It's all Otters tonight. 18-8 on the Otters Digital Network. One final inning here from Florence. Bottom of the ninth. The Otters have pulverized Florence tonight, an 18-8 lead. Leone de la Cruz looks to get the last 3 outs here in the ninth. First pitch missed outside to Hoover, and now the lefty outfielder fouls one away down the left field line. 1-1. De la Cruz allowed a leadoff infield base hit in the eighth, but then they got the next 3 successive batters out. Looking for the last 6 outs of the ball game for the Otters. The 1-1 is fouled again off the screen, 1-2. 9 doubles for the Otters today, breaking a franchise single-game record. Dakota Phillips with 5 hits, tying the second most hits for an Otters player in 28 years of Otters baseball, among other numerous accomplishments. 1-2. Slap left side, backhanded by Reyes, bounces off his glove, back on the turf, picks it back up, and Hoover will be safe at first without a throw. Second hit of the day for the former East Carolina Pirates. Bring up Tristan Garcia for the, my goodness, 6th time today. An error on Reyes, only the 3rd error on the Otters. One on with nobody out for Garcia, who is 2 for 3 with a walk and a hit by pitch. He's trying to reach for the 5th time today. Y'alls have done some good things offensively, but it pales in comparison to the Otters' historic output tonight. De La Cruz home. Fastball on the outside corner, a strike. Pitch home, misses low for a ball. 1-1 to Garcia. De La Cruz delivers, swing and a miss, 1-2. So I posed the question, which was the trivia question tonight here at Thomas More Stadium. How much does the average American spend on beer in a year? I got no guesses from anyone on the Otters Digital Network. It's a hard question. Maybe I should have given a hint. 1-2 from De La Cruz. Outside corner, strike 3 called, 1 away. The Otters need 2 more outs. So the answer, the average American on beer spends $1,200 on beer. I found that a shockingly high number. But I guess you start thinking about it if you, say, go to a season ticket holder for an NFL game and you go to 8 NFL games, and I mean, my goodness, you get a beer, one beer, it costs $15. You go to a couple games, and just like that, you spend $500 on drinks, and you think about beer that you buy for the house and beer you buy on a night out with friends, and quickly you're over $1,000. Crazy number to think about as Hank Zeisler takes the first ball low. 1-0 from De La Cruz, swing and a miss, 1-1. Well, it's $1 beer night here at Thomas More Stadium. I hope, if nothing else, the fans have enjoyed the cheap beer, because it has been ugly for Florence fans to watch. The Otters, 18 runs on 22 hits, and an 18-8 lead here in the ninth. 1-1, popped up left side and out of play. Look out on the concourse. A couple employees running for cover, and there's not too many fans left here, but the kid's got a souvenir. It was UC night, too, here at the ballpark. The Cincinnati Bearcat was out to throw out the first pitch. Felt appropriate tonight. First night of college sports officially back. It's always a fun night. Women's soccer's first night of the regular season this evening across the nation. Good to have college sports back. 1-2, outside corner, and strike 3 call. Down to second base goes Hoover. Felix decided to wait to see if strike 3 was called instead of throw to second. It is back-to-back strikeouts looking for De La Cruz. He has 3 German-American bank strikeouts, and the Otters are an out away from victory. Brian Fuentes, the third baseman, to the plate. He's 1 for 5 today, and the last chance for the Y'alls. And out away the Otters from their first road series victory in over a month. De La Cruz home, swing and a miss. De La Cruz peeking over his glove at home. Sets at the belt. Looks back at second. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Big 92-mile-per-hour fastball from De La Cruz, and the Otters an out away from finally a road series win. getting that monkey off their back. De La Cruz on the left side of the rubber. Readies and delivers. High, 1 ball and 2 strikes. De La Cruz will try again. Here's the 1-2 home. It's spoiled off the screen, and Fuente stays alive. Florence will go to Joliet this weekend. The Y'alls will miss the playoffs for a second straight season. Not officially eliminated, but they're running out of time at this point. The Otters, with a gateway loss, will move just 4 back of first place in the standings. 5.5 up on Washington for the last playoff spot in the West entering the night. Another 1-2. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters going to finish 4-2 here on the road at Thomas More Stadium. They've loved playing here, no doubt about it. 2-2. Popped up high in the air in left field. Noah Myers a few steps back, under the baseball, and makes the catch, and the Otters win it. 18-8. A dominant offensive performance by Evansville. They batter the Y'alls for 22 hits. Historic 9 doubles, the most in a single game in Otters history. Dakota Phillips, a special 5-hit night, tied for the second most hits in Otters history. And Evansville gets its first road series win in over a month. Last one was July 2nd at Joliet. They had 5 straight road series losses with an emphatic 18-8 win tonight. Back-to-back road wins, too, for the Otters. Just the 4th time this season and just the 2nd time this year winning a road series after dropping the series opener. 27. Make it 29 combined runs scored by the Otters over the last 2 games. They scored 11 runs on Wednesday night. They score 18 runs tonight on 22 hits. Up and down the lineup, dominance by the Otters. And a tip of the cap as well to Justin Watland, who will get the win and a quality start. Ended up allowing 3 earned runs over 6 innings pitched. His last 3 innings work were scoreless, and he helped eat up some innings for a tired Otters bullpen that will be far more rested going into the weekend when they take on Washington. Otters improved to 44-36, 8 games over 500. Gateway and Washington still playing in Pennsylvania. Grizzlies still a 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Either way there, Grizzlies lose, Otters go to 4 back of first. But if the Grizzlies win, the Otters build some distance between themselves and Washington and trying to hold on to that last playoff spot in the West. A Washington loss, and the Otters 6.5 games up on Washington for that last playoff spot. And we can start talking about magic numbers soon, too, for the Otters to get into the playoffs for the 6th time in the last 7 seasons. Who's the star of tonight? Well, it has to be a few guys. Dakota Phillips, 5 for 6. He ties the second most hits in Otters team history. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. Back-to-back nights with a home run. The thing I didn't notice, though, now I look at the box score. Noah Myers, what a huge night. He went 4 for 6, 4 runs. He had 7 RBIs tonight, though. He had back-to-back nights with a home run. He had a 2-run home run in the 4th. He had a double in the 2nd that scored some runs. He had an RBI double in the 6th and the 8th. 7 RBIs for Noah Myers tonight. And that is tied for the second most runs batted in Otters team history, only behind Jeff Goldbach, who did it against River City in 2008. Dakota Phillips, with those 5 hits, tied for the second most in Otters team history. So what a night for Noah Myers. What a night for Dakota Phillips. George Khalil as well, 4 for 5. He had 3 hits. Austin Boast had 2 hits. Gary Mattis 2 hits. Was so close away from an inside the park home run. 2 hits as well for Kona Quiggle. And what a night to remember for the Otters. Up and down the lineup, 22 total hits, 18 runs, 17 batted in, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, 4 walks, and just 5 strikeouts. And the Otters get the series win with a historic 18-8 win tonight from Florence. Had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you have too on the Otters Digital Network. We'll be back on the air tomorrow evening as the Otters will make the 4-hour bus ride east to Washington, Pennsylvania for a big weekend series against the Wild Things. First pitch Friday and Saturday is slated for 6:05 Central Time, and then Sunday a 4:35 first pitch. Zach Smith, the righty, slated to go tomorrow for the Otters. The lefty Kobe Foster, who has 2 wins so far against the Otters, will go for the Wild Things. We'll be both on the Otters Digital Network and also simulcast on Flow Sports this weekend in Washington. Hope you can make some time for Otters baseball on the third to last weekend of the regular season for Evansville. Tonight, the story, an Otters' historic offensive output. They put together 9 doubles, breaking a team record, in total 18 runs on 22 hits for an 18-8 victory over Florence, and win the series here in Northern Kentucky. For our entire Otters Digital Network team, I'm Griffin Epstein saying good night from Florence as the Otters blow out the Y'alls in 18-8 victory.